Oh, I didn't tell you I was turning the microphone. My bad. And then I bumped the pop filter. Well, that's just great. Anyway, here we are again. We are a few minutes late. And that's a minus, but on the plus side, I did get everything done that I needed to do before the stream. That was part of the reason why I was 4 minutes late, was because I needed to get crickets for Hunter for the gecko, and parents brought them, and instead of interrupting me during the stream, they actually brought them right before the stream, although it was right before, like right when I would have pressed go live normally. So on the minus side, we're a little late. On the plus side, that's all done, so there's no interruption as we go here. So I guess that's good, I suppose. Hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. Good evening. Your boyfriend has officially declared that square cut pizza is for psychopaths and that it's supposed to be cut in triangles because the crust is the handle to pick the pizza up with. Can't you still use the crust as a handle for a square piece? I get his point. It's a pizza pie after all, but like, can't you just, like, if it's a center piece, just pick it up by the bottom crust? Like, like shovel it in your mouth. I don't know. We have pizza parlors of all kinds in our town, square and pie, so I guess I've just grown up with both and I don't really have a definitive stance one way or the other. But, I don't know, this isn't like... I feel like if I grew up in Chicago, I'd be more in the pie section because they've got those deep dish pizzas, and you can't really cook a deep dish pizza in a square dish. You have to kind of cook it in a round dish, like a round pot, basically, or a pan. But, yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like, eat what you want. If I had a preference, like if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick pie slice myself if I had to pick one, but I think that's just because the better pizza places that I've eaten at have pie sliced them. Like a lot of the places where you get them squared are like, it's just not as good. So I think the more artisanal pizza that I've gotten has been pie shaped, but I don't think there's anything wrong with square pieces. Like I said, eat what you want. As long as you don't put pineapple on it, that's all I care about. Because, good Lord, man, how can... I get that sweet and salty go together, but Jesus. Be fair, I kind of want to make deep dish pizza at some point. Kitchen's too small for that, though. Yeah, and I think you need, like, a really high-degree oven to do it as well. Because, like, if you cook it at 500 degrees, it'll work. But I think you need it to be a little higher. Like, I think you need a brick oven. Or something that can get, like, really high heat, like 750 or something. Would be probably closer to where I'd want to cook a pizza, but I don't know. That's just me. Like I said, eat what you want. I know I just made the comment about pineapple, but like seriously, just eat what you want. If you like pineapple on your greasy cheese-filled pizza, then I will look at you cross-eyed and wonder what's going on in your head, but don't let that stop you. Anyway. Stand mixer too, want to use it to make dough. Yeah, stand mixers are nice for making dough. My mom got one a few years ago for cookie baking because she makes cookies in the winter for Christmas time, and it is so much better for her. Like we used to have to go in the kitchen with her and sit there and help her mix for hours, man. And around Christmas time, it was exhausting, and my arms were tired for like a week afterward. But now she's got that stand mixer, it just knocks it right out. So much easier, and it's so much better for her too because now she doesn't have to worry about like the repetitive motion or anything. It's just great. Definitely worth an investment if you make a lot of baked goods. Eidolons come to grant to despairingly see the death they crave, or so it is believed. When the Eidolon Alexander is summoned by hope progressing in his character development, Lightning sees a different reason behind the entity's appearance. She comes to believe that the Eidolons appear in order to prevent l'Cie from giving up on themselves. When l'Cie, consumed by despair or rage, are close to losing their path, an Eidolon appears and gives them a life or death trial to overcome, thereby forcing them to rethink their decision to surrender. Through this battle with Alexander, Hope renews his determination to survive and rejoins the others to set off to the north. That way lies the village of Erba. If they can reach Fang and Veil's hometown, I can stop reading so fast now, then maybe they can learn the true story behind the War of Transgression to find a clue to help them break the shackles of their focus. The l'Cie continued their journey, each playing their part to keep this tiny flame of hope alive. And I could keep this tiny flame of a joke about us not having enough money to make all the upgrades that I made in the Discord server alive as well, but I did a small amount of accounting off screen and I realized if I pick up just a few treasures between here and the end of chapter 11 will be perfectly fine. That being said, if you told me I would have had to do accounting for this game before I started playing it, well, honestly, I probably would have believed you. The Archaealt Steppe is a hell of a large place and Gil's at a premium in this game, but it's still more work than I wanted to do. But it's done now. So how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIII, the Stream Edition. Welcome back to Elevator Hell. We're still in the Yaschas Massif, and we're probably going to spend most of today here because it's a very large area with some very long encounters there. We didn't look at what was in the valley last time when I went to the left instead of to the right. Oh my god. I forgot what was in that damn valley. We will probably spend an hour in that damn valley. Last time we got a little hung up because the Adroas and Verdolets are immune to magic, so Hope is kind of not useful for that because he doesn't have Commando yet, so he can't use non-elemental magic. I was going to use Bahamut for it, but then I said, why would I even bother? I have 3 characters that have Blitz, and they're all strong enough on the physical attack to where I'm pretty sure we can just go Commando, 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 and just blitz right through all of these guys with no trouble whatsoever. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go Com Sin, and Com Med Com, just in case we need it, I guess. But just blitz right through all of their HP without any thinking or afterthought of any kind. So that's the plan. Oh yeah, I gotta do a little bit of, speaking of accounting, I gotta do a little bit of accounting right here at the beginning because I need to throw a little bit of stuff out. So that's what I'm gonna do. You need an Aurora Scarf though before we do this, so let's give you that. And yeah, keep the Witch's Bracelet. Yeah, you can keep that, and you can definitely keep that because all of that will be good for you. You still hold on to that stuff, and you guys can hold on to that stuff. So, feel like you're in an elevator whenever you hear this theme. Yeah, well, like I said, pretty much elevator hell. It's only hell though in certain encounters. It's not really hell in most of the. Oh, you know what I need actually? Thinking about it, I probably, because there's munchkins over there that I'll need to kill. So I'm gonna need probably like a com Rav. Let's do com Rav com. There we go, and start with that real quick, just so that way we can kill off the munchkins on the way there, because I'll take the CP, why not? Anyway, let's go to the shop. Like I said, I did a little bit of accounting, and I'm pretty sure we'll be okay on our money, as long as I get more stuff like the Feymark that's worth a premium when I sell it. We don't need any of that stuff. And also I'm going to sell a couple of the weapons that we have here because I've decided to switch them up a little bit. We are not going to retire the Axis Blade yet, but I think eventually we're going to retire the Axis Blade. It has served a great purpose thus far, and it will continue to serve a good purpose going forward. But I think pretty soon we're going to retire it. And by pretty soon, I mean like, not pretty soon, like a few streams from now. We've got plenty of time to abuse its mini haste abilities for a little while. Until then, we'll... I'm thinking about it anyway. Nomadic or Sentinel, I don't think we'll need it, honestly. Like, it's pretty much just we're going to blitz right through them as quickly as possible, and if we win, then we win, and if we don't, then we retry. Or I summon Bahamut, one or the other. So, I'm going to sell off all these, like, low-selling ones. I think if I did my math correctly, because I did this off-screen, the selling to see how much money we'd have available. Once we sell these, we should have, like, 159,800 gil to play with, I think. Oh yeah, and I'm going to sell off every synthetic item that I have besides the bombshells, because I think that's all we're going to really need going forward in order to max stuff out. Or not just the bombshells, rather. There's a couple of other ones that I want to keep, but we're not quite there yet. So So let's get rid of these, get rid of this amplifier. I'm sure someone other than me can take good advantage of it. Don't need the silicone oil or this. Now, superconductors I would keep. They're actually used in some of the recipes that were available on the website Etro's Gate, which has since become defunct, but there are web archives of the pages on Etro's Gate that basically allow you to see what you can use to upgrade items a little bit more effectively. And superconductors, since they're available for sale, are used in a lot of the recipes so that you can make them for the least amount of gil. So I actually went ahead and looked up all the recipes for all the items that we're going to need, and that's one of the items I want to keep. So, and we need the rest of those as well. I'm looking at it, I'm like, why don't I have the money that I need? Well, yeah, it's because I haven't sold the Procons and the Umbra yet, so I'm going to do that in just a second. Let's buy some replacement items for them first, and really I probably should have kept the old ones because we're just going to go back to the Vega 42s and to Wild Bear. The effects of the Procons and Umbra are good. The stagger maintenance is nice, and so is the ability to increase Fringe Ward and Death Ward, but honestly, I don't think I'm really going to need them all that badly. I think I'm just going to like give them these just so that they have something nice and cheap to upgrade, because that way they can upgrade them. My plan of action now, the reason why we have to start thinking about our accounting a little bit, is because I'm planning on getting everybody tier 2 weapons at star rank by the end of the game, and that is a tall order in the way that I'm playing the game, but we're going to give it a shot and we'll see if it works. And we'll go from there. We're going to keep Hawkeye, though. We're going to keep the Belladonna Wand, the Pandoran Spear, and the Axis Blade. I will probably replace Lightning's Weapon with something else later, because later on we're going to basically get the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch back, and once we get that back, it'll be pretty smooth sailing with a different weapon. So, but until that point, I'm just going to keep what I've got. Oh, and I think I bought 4 potions as well, so I might have slightly more than I needed from these two. Nope, that's exactly what it is, 159,800. I knew I did it right. I said, wait a minute, no, I did this the first time. Might as well buy up to 35 potions, though, since that seems to be the amount that we normally keep. A couple of hundred gil is not going to make or break us, so. I'm probably going to keep Fang as party leader, though, because if something goes absolutely south, then we can summon Bahamut anyway. I have a plan for using Bahamut in a different boss fight that we're going to fight today, though, that might give him a kill more worthy of his name, you know. So, but anyway. Munchkins, and then we'll leave Fang out again just for the... Where do you think you're skating to? We'll leave Fang out just so that way she can summon Bahamut on the Adroas, and we can go from there. Alright, so Saz is already going ham. That's good. They're all sticking together. That's also good, because that'll make it a little easier for us to mow them down. I'm going to go Cerberus, I think. A little more time than I'd like to spend on something like this, but we should be able to get them all, yeah, in like 2 seconds anyway. So. Alright, and we're over 4 TP, so that's nice. We should have enough TP to work with going forward, though I don't think I'm too concerned about it. Alright, so plan of action here. Well, not here. Here. We gotta go up here. They're up here. I'm gonna try to get a preemptive strike on them. And I think I'm also gonna Fortisol. How much do we have? Oh, we've got 9. I'm definitely gonna Fortisol. Alright, so we're going to try to get a preemptive strike on these guys. I think that one there is probably the easiest one to get the preemptive on, because he's like away from all of his buddies. If we don't get it, I'm going to retry, because I would much rather have it than not. I'm going to try for this one right in front of me first. He turns around before my shroud runs out. Good lord, man. Go hang out with your friends, not me. Okay, we got it. He turned around on me, but he didn't recognize me in time, so knock the bowling pins down, and I didn't switch to Cerberus, so I'll just switch to that real quick after Lightning staggers these guys, I guess. There we go. So now a bunch of them should be staggered. If they're not staggered, they will be in a minute. We can just break them whenever Fang's ready. There we go. Now we just go after them while they're all staggered, and they should be dead momentarily. Because they're all available to be launched, except that one, who's just doing his own thing, I guess. I'll go back to aggression, actually, so we can get rid of this one quickly before he summons, please. If he summons, it's a retry, so... Okay, I think this is a retry, so off we go. Basically, we're supposed to get him staggered before we do that, so maybe what I'll do then is I'll let Saz and Lightning be on Rav. I love how I mentioned, though, that the Bahamut strategy isn't even consistent, and now here we are. But that's fine. We should be able to handle it. I don't want him to summon, just because the Uridimu that he summons will take way too freaking long to kill. It will definitely destroy our rank, so I'm not going to bother with that. So we'll just do it this way, and then once we get them... And I mean, if I was a little more leveled up, this wouldn't be a problem. There's another mission shortly after this one where we will fight these guys again. And by that point in time, we'll be leveled up high enough to where it doesn't matter. Like, we'll just kill them no matter what we do. So... Alright, now. Which one's not staggered? Hit the one that's not staggered. I wish I could, like... Okay, there we go. These ones are not staggered. So let's go here. And then go Cerberus. I think we've got them all staggered now, but we might not have one of them staggered. No, never mind. We got them all. Okay, good. Just keep this up. Now that one's not staggered, so... See if we can kill him in time. I don't think so. Okay, so let's go back to Relentless Assault so we can stagger him quickly. He's going to get healed, I think, but as long as they stagger him before he starts summoning, I think we'll be okay. And by before he starts summoning, I mean, like, now. There. See? Like, basically before he completes the summon, and then that's it. It's over. So, that's the important thing. But that's that. Really not too bad. It's just a matter of making sure that you target the correct ones to maintain the gauge so that they get staggered. And honestly, we might be doing this part a little under-leveled, so that could be part of the problem as well. But, well, made it, so it doesn't really matter now. Alright, back to this. Let's put Combat Clinic on. Oh, we've already got it. Okay, well then just switch this all the way up. Boop. There we go. Put back our normal routine here. And we can move on with our lives. Put Sentinel here. Rav, Sab, Rav, and that's it. Alright, we're good. We just need to, let's see, give you back an Aurora Scarf, actually. Give you back the Whistlewind Scarf. I guess I could have just equipped the other one, but that's fine. And then give you back the General's Belt for now, although pretty soon everybody will have their third accessory, so it won't be a huge deal for any of you to have that going on. So, I guess I'll just hit this up while it's... No, I don't want to hit... Well, you know, I guess it doesn't matter. And now we can continue onward. Went to the door to get your pizza, it's already over. Yeah, it doesn't take long. The one was trying to summon, but he has a low stagger threshold, so even though he's mostly immune to magic, you can still use magic to stagger him, even though it blocks. And since it's only like 103%, then you just stagger any... Basically, you blitz through as many of them as you can, and then stagger any of the remnants, launch them into the air, and they can't summon. And we only had one remnant left, which made that a lot easier than it would have been if there was more than one, so... Alright, now we could go back in this direction and go back up so we can explore the valley that I was just talking about, and there is a mission over there, but I don't know if I'm ready for the enemies or the mission, so I think instead, let's go in the direction that Hope told us to go last time, and just head up this way. More munchkins. I'm in Relentless Assault, that's fine. That'll work. Where are you guys going? I forget, are they resistant to thunder? Yeah, they block thunder. Okay. This is what I get for not playing for 4 days. I probably should be doing this, actually. just so we can double it up now that they're like low-ish or high on the stagger threshold. Liberally abuse the Axis Blade's ability to pull the bar all the way up for me. Yeah, we'll get better and better at killing these munchkins as we go. They won't be very much of a... I mean, they're not really a problem for now, but they won't be much of a problem for much longer. So, and they get you a pretty decent chunk of CP, so I will take it. It will do me much better than running into multiple of the large enemies around here. Although I think at this point we can probably handle 2 Dire Flans, I think. I don't think it'd be that hard, but, you know, I don't know if I want to test that theory at the moment. It occurs to me, though, that we're using Lightning's magic a lot more than her physics. Oh, for Christ's sakes, come on. I just said I... All right, goodbye. Yeah, we've been using some of Lightning's magic, although that's mainly because a lot of the enemies around here are, like, magically... Like, they take more damage from magical attacks than they do from physical attacks, but... Yeah, so we're, it's a thought. I know it's happening, so I'm thinking about what to do about it for later, and I'm probably going to end up as a matter of fact, I'll just tell you, I'm going to end up switching weapons and one of her accessories in order to fix it, but we're not going to do that for a little while yet, so... Where was I on here anyway? I haven't done anything in Commando because we're looking for her accessory, right? And that's here? Yeah. We're getting accessory number 3 before we do anything else, so let's do that, even though it's going to cost me... 8, 16, 26, 36,000 to get her there. That's not too bad. We should have that before we get out of this section of the map, so should be okay, I think. Yours was in Sentinel, I think? It's really too bad that Fang's is kind of buried. Like, her accessory is in Sentinel, and her ATB's in Commando, because a lot of the stuff that she gets in her Saboteur tree right now is pretty damn good. Like, she gets Pain in there, which can help us against certain enemies like the Svarogs that we can fight here. Without Pain, we're going to have to use a Sentinel, but I guess that's not so bad. Vanille gets Pain and Fog in this stage as well, actually, but I don't know how much she'll actually end up using it. So, you already got your accessory, right? Yeah, and I think you bought... Yeah, you bought everything before the accessory as well, because it was so short-lived into the tree, so ATB level it is for you to work on. But I'd rather just go straight for it. How far away is it? It's not in there. You get Bravery and Faith on the way there as well. I think I'm just going to gun straight for his ATB level. The thing about Hope early on in the Crystarium here, like when we're fairly early in the chapter, is that his best one out of all of them by a long shot in this chapter, his best tree to invest in is Ravager. He gets Dispelga, but that's not really the main draw. He gets Thundaga, he gets Waterga, he gets Vigor, which increases the effectiveness of his attacks when his HP is high as a Ravager, and that's his most damaging roll that he gets naturally. He gets Blizzaga, he gets Firaga. And for those of you keeping score at home, yes, that is every single Tier 3 elemental spell. He gets them all in Stage 8 of his Ravager Crystarium. And Hope with Tier 3 spells, with Auto Faith, with his most powerful magic weapon, is nuts. He hits like a freight train in this chapter. And it's absurd. It's, well, not absurd, but it's pretty absurd. To the point where... Yeah, we are definitely going to invest in Ravager once he gets his ATB level, so. Give the Crystarium one thing, you like the designs. Yeah, they're cool designs, I enjoy them. It's very, like, fancy looking, so I'll give him that. It doesn't really look coherent from out here, but, like, it is fancy looking. Thundaga is the reason why your grinding strap works. Thundaga in this game is really good. It's basically instant. As soon as you cast it, it hits for a large area, hits for lots of damage. Pretty nice, so I enjoy it. It will be worth it to go back and grab all of these other things, though, after a while, because... is this 8? This is 8. Okay, well, you're just going to get that one for now. Because, like, a lot of the stuff that we are leaving behind at the moment is some pretty good stuff. I mean, adrenaline up there for Saz is really great. It increases, it's like vigor, except, well, for a commando, basically. So, you can get 2, big guy. Alright, go ahead and get 2. Get more HP than some of the rest of the party. Almost double Hope's HP at the moment. No shock there, it's snow, so. Alright, so you already got your ATB level, and we're working our way up to your accessory, which is right here. Now I just need to figure out if I want Vanille to go Saboteur, or if I want her to go for Ravager as well. I feel like probably Saboteur would be the better option, because she gets a lot of good options in her Saboteur tree at stage 8 as well, if I remember correctly. Poison Go, that's not great. But it's there, I guess. Imperil Gust. So the Gust spells are not great. Here's Pain and Fog, though, so if you need them for her. Now, she doesn't get the bonus to their effectiveness like Fang does, because these are not considered debuffs. They're considered debilitations, which I believe is the terminology they use for the Pandoran Spear. So, like, with Fang, she gets... so I guess I could just get Pain and Fog for her, which isn't great, but... Yeah, for Fang, I believe the terminology is debuffing, or not, that's Vanille. Yeah, so the Belladonna Wand, when it says debuffing there, that's specifically De-Protect, De-Shell, Poison, and Imperil. With Fang's weapon, it's improved debilitation, and I don't think it, yeah, it just says debilitation ability. So what qualifies as a debilitation ability is Pain, Fog, Slow, Curse, and Daze, whereas Vanille gets a boost to De-Protect, De-Shell, Imperil, and Poison. So if she's trying to apply, like if one of the ladies is trying to apply a status ailment that isn't really sticking, even though they have the success rate weapon on, it's probably because it's not the correct type. So like if Vanille's trying to inflict Pain and Fog, and she's not sticking it, it's because she doesn't get a boost to those. It's the same thing with Fang. When she tries to inflict De-Protect and De-Shell, she doesn't get a boost to those. So those are more concerned. If you want to increase the success rate of those, you're going to want to be more concerned with how many Saboteurs do you have in your party, first of all. And second of all, what is the stagger gauge at? Because the higher the stagger gauge goes, the more likely you are to actually get a, whatchamacallit, a stagger. So... Oh, good, that Thundara hit there, so that's good. You guys are all weak to fire, right? Yeah. So is the Hybrid Flora, who we will most likely not do anything to, but before his stagger runs out, but that's okay, we can handle it. Trying to think if I want to... I'll go one more round like this for you. Okay, maybe I'll go one more. Just so that way I can switch to Smart Bomb and start getting something going on him. I don't remember what I want to get going on him. We might have to switch over, though, to a Sentinel thing, but yeah, if we can get something going on him, that'd be cool. Yeah, might not have to. Okay, switch again. Keep going. And we'll let Fang launch him next time. He doesn't smack us in the face like that. I'm not going to launch him, Fang. Can I launch even if he's, like, really resistant to physical? Yeah, I can. Okay, cool. I forgot if that worked or not. Well, that'll keep him in the air for a little longer. And Aurora will also launch him, so if Hope's in the process of doing that, I suppose that works too. Alright. Well, it's not that I'm lost, it's that you guys are giving me 2 paths to work with now. How am I supposed to handle this? I've never had 2 paths to choose from before. No, but they all circle around to the same place, so we'll just go in probably clockwise. We'll go around in a circle, although probably I won't come back and fight this battle because that one takes a little while. I'll just run back in the same direction once we come full circle. Because there's good CP to be had here, and if nothing else, that's the reason why we're hanging around in this area, is to get a bunch of CP together, so. Oh good, there's Triffids in this battle as well. I love that. I really hate Triffids. They are not my favorite enemy type, that's for damn sure. That's not what I wanted to do. Just do this. Alright, so now The one Trifid will be the only one left, but let's blitz through the Alrons while they're... Oh, okay, I'm dying. Hold on. Maybe we won't be blitzing through the Alrons. Lightning, throw the potion faster. Alright, I'll use Renew. It's fine. There. Oh, good. She jumped away before I get hit by that. Good. That helps. Alright, so probably we won't... Oh, I don't have Flame Strike yet. Probably we won't get this guy... Well, we might get him staggered before we kill him, but it'll be like right before. Yeah.
And I was just getting started.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Triffids either, is because they're like... They have just enough HP for you to not be able to blitz through them easily, but just like... They have too much HP for you to not be able to blitz through them easily, but not enough HP to where you can stagger them and then kill them while they're, you know, exposed. They basically get to have their cake and eat it too for the entire battle because they don't get like... When enemies are staggered, they end up like being thrown off balance more easily, kind of like having the curse status basically. So it just... You guys just chilling out? Guess so. Too bad I gotta kill you now for the CP. Yeah, basically because they're at that threshold where they're just strong enough to not really have a problem with that stuff. I don't know, it just... Oh, I used Thundara again, that's my bad. But they're all staggered, thank you, Hope. So... Okay, goodbye. I'll do nothing this battle, that's okay. Luigi did nothing, and he was okay. Hey, Yuna, how you doing? Welcome back. Yes, excuse you, you are excused. Welcome back. We're in the Yaschas Massif. Almost to the, which one is this one? We're in the Passive Padra, right? Hang on, let me see. Or Passive Padra? We're almost to the end of the Passive Padra, so there you go. That's where we're at. Running in circles because there's good CP to be had around here, so we might as well. Why not? Okay, these are not Adroas. These are their weaker cousins, so... That's it. Bunch up just like that so that I can stagger a couple of you and then switch to aggression and blitz right through. If these ones conjure, I'm not really worried about that though. Like, I don't think conjuring something will make them do anything particularly problematic. So... Okay, Roga's problematic, but it's okay, we're fine. Am I not a fan of the Magic Thundaga? I do not have Thundaga yet. Lightning does not get it yet, so I can't use it at the moment. Hope also does not have it yet, because we're still early in Chapter 11, so... Until we get it, I can't abuse it. But trust me, when we get it, it will be abused. Yeah, it is a shame, because then I could quite literally just load the gun and go to work. Oh well. We'll make it work once we get it. So. And again, it will work especially well for Hope, because he has Auto Faith on one of his accessories, and also the highest magic of anyone in our party, so... Freight train is leaving the station soon. Just used Heartless Angel. Heartless Angel would be a very interesting skill to abuse in this game. It's effectively gravity damage, which I don't know how enemies feel about in this game, if I'm honest. Okay, this is the one with the big guy, right? Yeah, okay. That's fine. We'll just leave him alone. Yeah, I don't know how enemies feel about gravity damage in this game, because I don't think there is a spell that uses gravity to, like, percentage-based damage, basically, like there are in other Final Fantasies, so... Oh, excuse me. Like, I'm trying to think, and I can't think of anything.
Change of plan.
Alright, you get that one, I'll get the ones on the ground, because they're all staggered, so... Oh, good, Lightning. Push them into each other. That works, too. Sometimes not being able to move on the battlefield does have its benefits. And 2500 CP is also a benefit. It's very relaxing here, though. I know we're, you know, in a world full of dinosaurs and wolves with 4 rows of teeth and all that other stuff that's trying to murder me, but very relaxing here, despite the fact that the elevator music might grate on you after a while. I don't know, I just find that the elevator music doesn't really get me hyped up to be here, I guess. I guess it's not supposed to. It's elevator music. If it was getting you hyped up, well, what would you do? You're in an elevator. You can't really, like, move around. So, I don't know. I guess I would have preferred it. I don't know if I would have preferred it, honestly, but I guess I would have preferred it if the music from the Valis Media played here as well, because that's pretty good music. It's just a small area, so you don't get to enjoy it for very long. Speaking of dancing, but he's enjoying his tunes on his gigantic headphones. Alright, so there's a Munchkin Maestro, but it's kind of the same deal. Kill the Munchkins first, though. Definitely don't kill the Munchkin Maestro before you kill the Munchkins, because if you do, bad things will happen. Yeah, you can launch him, that's fine. I'm gonna wait until Fang's done and then go up. There we go. Oh, you're playing Lightning Returns right now? Yeah, I've never played that one, personally. I've only ever played this one in 13.2, and I was not a big fan of 13.2, so I kind of just said, I'm just going to leave it here. I enjoyed the original enough. I'll just go back and play that one if I get an inkling to play 13. And, well, I didn't get an inkling to play 13 before playing it for the stream here, but I'm cleaning out my PS3 projects for my backlog. So that was the reason why I went back to this one. Gonna have to play it eventually anyway if I'm gonna play all the mainline Final Fantasies besides 11.
You know, I gotta say, this is weird.
What's weird?
When we were young, we were always taught that someday we'd be attacked by the demons of Cocoon. And look at us now, waltzing back into Erba, with the very people we were chosen to take up arms against.
I suppose that's a little strange.
I never would have helped you guys. Oh.
Well, right. Back then is when you got your first focus, so...
So, Vanille, I think...
We already talked a bit about that. Huh.
Yeah, not with Fang, though.
Centuries ago now, when me and Fang joined the battle against Cocoon.
So is it time for that talk, finally?
During the fight, I became Ragnarok
Vanille?
and cracked Cocoon's shell.
Vanille, this is not okay. We talked about this.
Must have been hard on you going through that.
The memories, they're all pretty fuzzy.
Cocoon's version of the War of Transgression must have been built up around what you two did.
I love how he says you two, like, yeah, well, you know, Vanille.
I just got turned to crystal, and I can't even remember why that happened. Don't even have the memories to show for it.
It's rather convenient.
It's all my fault. So many people died because of me.
Yeah, I don't know. It just...
Those souls can rest.
It feels like she shouldn't be continuing to lie about this, especially when she was so gung-ho about, no, I'm going to help Fang for once in my life this time in Chapter 9, and now here she is, still lying. Like, what? What are you doing? You're making this harder on yourself and her. Isn't she your friend? 13 Part 1, still good, but you're still finding Ultima Weapons. Nice. That's helpful. Ultima Weapons are usually pretty strong. So, that will work for you. Alright, we got a little CP. Might as well use a little bit of it. Why not? And still working towards accessory. Gotta go down here. I can get 2, but I can't get this one because it's 10. So next. Sentinel. You don't have enough to get that, do you? No. No, it's not like we have a 3rd accessory for you just yet anyway, but I'll probably just like yoink a general's belt off my reserve party and give that to everybody except for Hope once we get there, because I do want to get a 3rd accessory for both of my current party members as well. Like the reserve party members, the ones I'm going to use for boss fights, basically already have theirs. They've got Aurora scarves or Whistlewind scarves, general's belt, and witch's bracelet, but the party members I'm going to use for random battles, I want to get them tetratic tiaras, and we don't have access to the other tetratic tiaras just yet. So since we don't, got to kind of improvise a little bit, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Oh good, it's right on the main drag here. So I shouldn't lose it in a fog or something. Make lovers support each other. Kiss now! Just kiss her, you idiot! Oh boy. Alright, so you can get almost there. Not quite, though. And then we'll go to snow. Have questions to ask? You don't even have to ask me. Feel free to ask whatever you'd like. I am all good with answering questions. It's right there, right? Yeah, okay. This is 10, so we're not getting that. And then you're still working on this too. Oh, you can get your accessory now. Okay, cool. You know, the kids are all right. They got their accessory slots earlier than everybody else. I guess that means they're more fashionable than everybody else. I don't know. I guess that's fine. Now, the question is, do I want to go back and buy all the stuff on the way? Yeah, probably. I can't quite get to Curasa. I could start on it, but I can't quite get there from here. So I think I'll work on getting you... Yeah, I'll work on getting you this stuff on the way back, and then... I think we should be okay. I don't know. I got to figure out which role I'm gonna... What I want to do before we leave the step is I'd like to get a role level for everybody. So like max out one of their roles before we leave the step. I don't know if that's going to be feasible for everybody, but I think we should get pretty close. So, all right, and that takes care of that. So now, I don't think it's going to be medic for Vanille though, if I'm just being honest. It's probably going to be Ravager. Oh wait, hang on, wrong Aurora scarf. There we go. General's belt, which is bracelet. And there you go. You're good. Okay. Let's save, and then we'll see what this mission next to us is. It's a yellow one, so I think, if I remember correctly, that's the teleport ones, or Waystone mission. So, like, now we can teleport back and forth between them, so. How do you stream your gameplay from PS3 on YouTube and Twitch? You've never done it before. So you have to get at least the way that I do it is you either have to get it on an emulator if your computer's strong enough, but my computer's not strong enough to use the emulator, so. Instead of that, you have to get a splitter. The splitter that I use is an Elgato Game Capture HD. You plug that in with the special PS3 plug that comes with it. If you order it from Elgato, it should come with the special PS3 plug. You plug that into your computer, you get OBS Studio, you set up the scene, and then there you go. Off you go. So that's how you do that. Nice and simple. There's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube that show it, but it's a pretty simple process. You basically just plug and play, so that's it. Mission 6, No Place Like Home. At last, reason be thankful for the gift of Lassie power. Are you sure? I'm charged with slaying a Munchkin Maestro, the very creature which brought devastation upon the home I left behind. When I have put an end to this demon and saved the village, please bear my crystal to the forum. There I shall rest, never to leave my beloved home again. About that, sir. Doesn't really seem like you made it. Sorry to say it. Oh, what's with the fade out? Anyway, the Munchkin Maestro is back in the direction we came from, so I guess we're fighting through more mobs. Yeah, when I say a splitter, I mean a capture card, yeah. So an Elgato or any other capture card that you get is either referred to as a capture card or a splitter. I'm referring to it as a splitter because I think that's the more technical term. It captures gameplay footage for you, but in this particular configuration where you have to plug in the special controller and everything, or the special plug in order to get it there, it isn't like, it has to go through the object and then through another wire in order to get to your PC, so you lose out on a little quality. So that's why I refer to it as a splitter, if that makes any sense. But it's a capture card, so if anybody says, oh, get a capture card, that's what they mean. So, okay, I guess I can do that too. Yeah, we should get him before there's a problem. Sure you can send you to Cocoon at the rate we're going here. Now, if you don't get a preemptive strike on those guys, probably a good idea to switch to a Sentinel, just because that way it prevents them from staggering you in the middle of their punches, because their punches are rapid, and they don't do a lot of damage, but they do basically, you know, they can stagger you or like basically take you out of your attack animation, which is not so great.
Time for another approach.
So if you want to avoid that, when it's just regular Munchkins, I don't really find the need because there's so few of them and they have so little HP that it's like, whatever, we got it. Just blitz, oh, good. Like, look at all that. Okay, that works. But when there's a Maestro, because the Maestro can use Goblin Enhancement to give the Goblins bravery, sometimes it might be easier just to do it with Delta Attack. So it's good to have a Sentinel in your party. That's why I like splitting it up so that I try to cover as many of the roles as possible when I do this. Oh, hang on. Speaking of which, might be worth it to get a preemptive strike here. If I don't, I guess we could just Delta Attack them because we won't be that bad off for stuff, but... Now you gotta watch, because they don't always turn around immediately. Sometimes they do a little spin instead. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna fight them straight up. It's fine. We'll just use a Sentinel to make this a little easier. Alright, Lightning and Hope can go do their thing with Blitz. Fang, get everybody's attention for me, please. Thank you. Yeah, see how that one had bravery? That's because he got Goblin Enhanced, which gives him a little bit of extra damage. Just get rid of this one. Get a little extra damage off. Oh, okay, they're all over there now. Get them all nice and stuck in a row, basically, like that. And then should be good to go. Are you resistant to magic? No. Okay. That's fine. And then once you get rid of the regular Munchkins, the Maestro will obviously get a little bit pissed off because you just killed his minions. So that could make him a little miffed. Blizzard Arrow, right? There we go. Had a little brain fart in the middle of that, but that's okay. Or actually, it wasn't a brain fart. It was more like hand-eye coordination not working like it used to. It happens. All right, Relentless Assault. Go ahead and launch him, Fang, and then we'll finish him off. There. Nothing to it. And that takes care of that. Mission complete, 5 stars. Get a Fulman ring for beating it. Nothing I particularly care about, but it is now stuck in your treasure list. So if you didn't upgrade Spark Rings earlier, because I think that's a Spark Ring upgrade if I remember right, well, now you can just use that to upgrade if you want to go to the full one for the... There's a trophy that you can get if you get copy of every item in the game, but we don't have access to that trophy just yet, so... Excuse me. Hope they remaster 13. I know they had a PC port of it a while back, but from what I understand, the PC port wasn't the best. You could probably get it up to like remastered quality on a PC by installing a few mods at this point, but that's if you want to install mods. So again, for my computer, it would have been like, yeah, I don't know if my computer can actually handle this, so... Yeah, see how they're kind of like staggering lightning out of some of her animations there? Well, it wasn't really out of the animation there, but I think I actually clipped one of the other ones there too. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if it depends on if they feel like they could make an extra buck on this game again. They would give it a remaster. Now that they're done with the pixel remasters, I feel like they're probably going to be more focused on the Final Fantasy VII remake, but you never know. I heard Final Fantasy IX might be getting something down the pipeline way later, but did anyone actually ask for that? Like, was it Square Enix's staff that said, yeah, we'd like to do Final Fantasy IX again? Like I don't mind Final Fantasy IX. I'm, as much a fan of it as the next person, unless the next person's H.C. Bailey, but I don't know. I didn't see it getting anything, so. Duel up one of those. Stagger up. Someone else just got staggered. Good. Let's do the Maestro. Okay, he's not. He lost his stagger bar, but that actually works out in my favor, so okay with that. Do I even want to bother? I probably just want to do this. No, actually, never mind. I do want to bother. I forgot. Provoke him for me, Fang, so I can stabilize the bar and then Mystic Tower it. I probably should just do 4 arrows in that case, though. I feel like that would work a little better. Just because then I don't have to bother with you build up the stagger gauge a little bit easier if you alternate spells like that, but it takes time. So sometimes if you've got a full bar, it's like, why waste the time, If you want to chain it better, just do it in the next stagger while you're waiting for the bar to charge, because then you're doing 2 things at once, so it doesn't like, okay, well, your bar's just sitting there doing nothing. That sucks, you're not a fan of the PC version? Forget it. Square Enix doesn't care about 13s for PS4 or PS5. Like I said, it depends on if they feel like they can make another buck on it, you know what I mean? And I feel like for 13 specifically, it would be a lot of work for them to do a remaster, because they don't just have to remaster 1, they have to remaster all 3. And that's a lot of game to be upgrading. A remaster for a new engine is not as easy as it sounds for people, but I'm not trying to give them credit for being lazy, I'm just saying it's a lot of work. So, it's more than a lot of people might think it is, I should say. But, I don't know, like I said, if they feel like they can make some money on it, I feel like that would be the incentive they would need, so. Where do we get a mithril bangle? Well, I guess it doesn't matter, I'm getting rid of it. Again, if you're trying to get the trophy for getting all items in the game, definitely do not do what I do and don't sell all these items. Like, you'll need them later, or else you're going to be paying a premium to get them back in most cases, unless they're elemental rings, in which case, sorry, you're SOL. You can't purchase them. But yeah, so if you're going for that trophy to get all the one of each item in the game, don't do what I do. But yeah. In any case, now that we've actually gotten, I think we've gotten 2 yellow ones completed at this point, right? Yeah, there was the one that we did with the Adroas, which was mission 4, and then this was mission 6. So now, because we have 2 different Waystone Cie'th Stones active, instead of just viewing the mission summary and trying to redo the mission, you can actually teleport between all of the different Cie'th Waystones that you have active that you've completed the mission for. So if I wanted to, I could just teleport straight back to the Subadran Highlands and go back to that open area that I was talking about earlier. But I don't want to use the Waystones for now for 2 reasons. One, there's another mission here in, the Padrian Archaeopolis. There's another mission right over there that we're going to go do first. But on top of that, remember, we've got that pedometer in the background still ticking away for all the steps that we take here on Pulse. So we want to keep working on that. And if we want to keep working on that, we have to walk everywhere. I know it's less convenient, and it will pad out the time that we have to play this, but it's easier than having to grind out steps in between streams. I'll just walk everywhere on screen, and then that way we play on the Archaeolt step for an extra hour or 2. That's fine with me. I'm okay with that. So, from all the walking we have to do. Was there a treasure over here? No. Okay. Well, there are monsters over here. I'm also having trouble with the terrain. Alright, come on. Come get me. the pathfinding on these flying Cie'th are a little bit odd. Sometimes they do manage to hit your head, but oftentimes I find they just go over it. So... Oh good, was that wind slash in the background? Yeah. Okay. Big deal. Can you buy it back if you sell it? I don't think so. The spark rings, like elemental rings specifically, so like spark ring, fulmin ring, blaze ring, all of that stuff, I don't think you can buy those back if you sell it, because I don't think they're available in shops. A lot of the accessories are available in shops, but not those ones specifically. So if you sold them already and you're looking for an 100% rating, sorry, it's probably not going to happen. But yeah, for the most part, accessories are available. It's just the elemental rings that are not. So, I don't know why either. Like, it seems weird that basically every other accessory would be available for you to buy, except like the weird ones and the elemental rings. Like the weird ones, I guess I get because they're bizarre, and you wouldn't really get them unless you're doing upgrades anyway. So like you just randomly try stuff out and you get them. But elemental rings, why aren't those buyable? Like at least in the basic stage, you know. It seems bizarre to me. So there's a lot of Cie'th up here, and one of them in particular. So those guys, I forget what they are, but they're like an upgrade to the ghouls that we saw way back in the beginning of the game. They have a lot more HP than the ghouls, though, so I would prefer to get a preemptive here, I think. I don't think that's possible with the flying one around, though. Yeah, he sees me pretty easily. All right, well, let's see if we can do it anyway. Why not? So, why are we targeting the taxon? Let's get rid of the little guy first. I guess we'll go Delta attack.
New strategy.
Are you resistant to magic? Oh, we don't know at the moment. Okay. Well, Fang, get their attention. And then we'll beat them up as we go here. Can't launch the Nalopsy, so I'll probably just throw marbles at him until he dies. We'll go combat clinic if we need to. If we don't get a 5-star on this, I'm okay with it. I don't expect to be honest. So, let's go combat clinic for a minute. I mean, I'll probably have to redo the gauge, but that's okay. And then do that for me. And that's good. Back to Delta attack. I probably don't need Delta attack for this guy specifically, but... Okay. You know what, as a matter of fact, let's just go Relentless Assault. We should be able to knock him out pretty quickly. So, or launch him at the very least. Yeah, like that. And we can kind of deal with the other one. He's just kind of shambling around, so... Yeah, see how much HP they've got, and I can't really do a switch because of... I guess I could switch to aggression and just see if I can make it work, but yeah, it might work. Let's see. Yeah, it works because of smite. Okay, that'll work. But yeah, without the ability to paradigm shift, it can be a little tough there. Maybe Smart Bomb wouldn't be a bad idea. See if we can get slow and curse on him. Both of those would be pretty useful. Oh, you can get fog on him as well. Or maybe Fang's just going for it because... Well, slow's not bad. I'll take it. 2 rounds of this. Switch to aggression after this one. And then go to town. Should get this one in 1 stagger as well. And off he goes. Okay, just barely eked out the 5-star there. If we had to heal again, we probably would not have eked it out, but that's okay. Works this way. So... Alright, is it just you two up here? 'Cause I can handle you two. Especially if I get a preemptive strike. Yeah, that'll definitely help. Alright, who are we going after first here? Alright, that's not ideal. I'd rather go after the other guy, but... I guess we could just, I probably should have done it, but I think his stagger's going to run out before we get there. So both of their staggers are going to run out before we get there. Well, we'll get a little extra damage off. Oh, good. Double Scourge actually means we'll probably kill him before he becomes a problem. So I'll take that. Never mind. That's the problem, really, with them, is they will wail in order to get daze on you. It's not a huge issue, but I guess it gets annoying. I don't think we'll need to heal. I think we can get this guy before we need to. I know Hope's hanging on an edge there, but that's okay. He'll be fine, I think. Yeah, as I say, Fang, before Hope takes that wind slash to the face, thank you. 700 plus stagger gauge feels so good. It definitely is very high. Yes, it's definitely very helpful to have the gauge jump up that high. So, all right, there's a lot of Taxim in the next area, like 4 of them, and they're all in one battle, if I remember correctly, right? Yes, they are. You can tell because the pulsing gauges on the map are the ones that would engage you in that fight. So, now that being said, you don't have to fight them. If you go after the mission that is just off to the side there, they'll disappear because the mission is right in this area. So instead of fighting them, you'll fight whatever the mission is. Although this mission is a little bit difficult, especially at this point in the game. But I think we can handle it. With the Fortisol and an Aegisol, but we can handle it. Alright, so this is the first of the Undying missions. Number 7, Batuitus the Pillager. The Undying, fearsome Cie'th who defy fal'Cie will, driven by an intense loathing of all that lives. The Pillager Batuitus is of their number, and it is my fate to seal his. Villages that survived the war remain unsafe, for his path of destruction sweeps through them all. Even my own fell before him. The demon is said to make his fastness in the Padrian Archaeopolis, but he will find no sanctuary from me there. I think he did, because you're under a roof while Batuitus still lives. Speaking of which, there he is now. It's another winged Cie'th, so that's fun. This one's a little trickier than your normal winged Cie'th, though. He's got access to a nasty, nasty attack that can be pretty powerful. And he's also got another trick up his sleeve, but not something we have to worry about right now, or ever for this particular playthrough, because we won't be fighting him again, so... I should mention, though, that this mission in particular, if you want to do any grinding and get some Hermes sandals or sprint shoes, this mission is pretty good for you because this guy will drop Tetratic Crowns or Tetratic Tiara for you if you get lucky. I wouldn't do the grind now for it, though, because you don't have any collectors or connoisseurs catalogs in order to increase his drop rates, so it's only a 5 or a 1% drop. Later on, you can get the drop rate higher, and then you can go from there. Like, once we do some more missions, we'll have access to a free collector's catalog, so then you can upgrade that if you need to, and go from there. Now, that being said, we need to do some specific... we need to have specific things here. I think... we need to have a specific battle party. I think I'm gonna want Fang, Snow, Vanille. Hope would be nice to bring along as well for Bar Thunder, but I don't think we need it. I think we can just have a Comsen Med so we can handle Bar Thunder, honestly, and just toss a couple of potions, and I think we'll be okay. So I'm gonna try that. Alright, so what we want to do first is we actually want something similar to this, is we want to Sab-Sen Sab. We want to Comsen... yeah, I guess I'll do Comsen Rav as well. Let's see... Comsen Med can be my healing one. This is where we want to start to try to get a bunch of... he's vulnerable to Slow and Imperil, and maybe Curse even, so I might try to get Curse on him as well. But I know he's vulnerable to Imperil, which should allow Vanille to do a lot more damage that way. And then we want to do... we want this here. And I might do Rav as well, just to see if we can get a bunch of damage on him. Like, you want a Sentinel for a little while because it'll allow him to kind of just, like, it'll let Snow tank the hits while you're setting up and while you're building up the gauge with, actually, instead of this, I probably want to go Sab, Sen, Rav, because that'll build the, well, no, actually, I can do Com, Sen, Rav. And then we can do Com, Rav, Rav. And then we can have a Com, Com, Rav here. But late in the fight, you probably won't stagger this guy. His stagger resistance is really, really high, so you'll probably only get him to about 300% before he either kills you or you kill him. So I would probably recommend just trying to build the gauge as high as you can with stuff like Relentless Assault, Delta Attack, Countermeasure, that sort of stuff, and then just go straight up offense as much as you can and try to get rid of him. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't want the Aurora Scarf and the Morale Talisman, though, actually. I would rather have the General's Belt and Witch's Bracelet, because that'll just give us some, like, overall tankiness that will help us out here. So I'll leave the Aurora Scarf on Vanille, though, because it can be useful. But I guess since she's got 3 accessories, if you wanted to, you could have her be the one to hold the Collector's Catalog, if that's what you want to do at the moment. So I'm okay with not doing that, though. Alright, so if we walk down the steps here, that's where he'll be. So I think now we use a Fortisol and an Aegisol. I guess at least I'm finding a good use for these. And then off we go. If you don't have Fortisol and Aegisol, I'd recommend taking Saz instead of Vanille, probably. Slow is probably the most important status to get on him. So let's see if we can make it work, shall we? Yeah, he's pretty tricky at the moment, but with the Fortisol and Aegisol, we should be able to handle him. I'll summon Bahamut, worst comes to worst, as well. Alright, first thing you want to do is get Libra on him. He'll use Miasma. That'll get us poisoned, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. Vanille will be dazed for a second, but he didn't get Snow, so that's the important part. Alright, and then just try to get the gauge built with Imperil. Get Slow as best you can. Okay, that's both. I'll try to get Curse before we switch over, but if we don't get it, that's fine. I don't know if we even... Oh, he is vulnerable to it. Alright, cool. Delta Attack. Now, he can be deprotected, but if I remember correctly, yeah, he halves all physical damage. So, and I don't think Imperil works on physical damage. I think it only works on magic, so just use Ruin. It's better. You've got Faith anyway, so even if you're a little bit more powerful on the magic, on the physical side, your magic will work a little bit better. But yeah, just build the gauge up a little bit more, and then I think I'm going to switch over. So there's the big attack there, 11 Bolt. Does some damage, but we can handle it with potions for now. I believe it does more damage later in the fight, though. So, all right, back up a little, Fang, so you don't get Miasma. Switch to Relentless Assault, keep going. Snow, you can help out building the gauge. We might get him built all the way up, but it's pretty tough to fill out his gauge, so I might just go a little closer and then finish him off. I'll do one more round. And then we'll go to aggression and we'll see how much damage we're doing. Alright, off we go. And maybe we can stagger him in just a minute, honestly. We'll see. Maybe I'll toss a potion as well, because I think he's going to 11 Bolt again in a second. Okay, that's fine. Relentless Assault. Do this. Vanille, whenever you're ready, you can stagger him for me, please. Sweet, we did stagger him. Cool. And Bob's your uncle. Easy. Again, the Fortisol and the Aegisol really help there. So, like, that would have been a lot harder without Shell. You would have wanted Hope or somebody around to get Bar Thunder going, because 11 Bolt hurts without Shell. So, or I guess you could have just gotten Shell with somebody else, but yeah, no, it definitely you want Fortisol and Aegisol for that one. So, but we get the R&D Depot shop as a result of finishing this mission, and we also get Archaeopolitan Idol. Okay, cool. I don't think the titles do anything, honestly, the little ranks, names that they give you. You okay in there? Oh, I see. He's a sore loser, so he decided to turn into a crystal cocoon. How does that even work? Well, this might be a problem for somebody else. Because I sure as hell am not doing Mission 64. We're only doing the first... I was going to do the first 28 missions of the game, but I'm actually going to do the first 34. But other than that, I am not going to do any of the additional post-game missions, because I would consider everything after mission 34 to be post-game, and I have absolutely no interest in doing that. It requires a significant amount of grinding that I am not willing to do. So, however, I will say this. I'm going to show all of you how you can get yourself set up to do those missions. So if you're playing along with me and you don't like the fact that I'm not going to do the missions, I will be showing you how you can get yourself ready to do them yourself so you can play all the way up to that point and then do them yourself. So I'm going to cover my bases. I won't be doing them, but I'm going to cover my bases. If you want to do it, I will leave that in your court. I do not want to do it, which is why I'm, well, not going to do it. But I'll leave it in your court. Oh, that's why that mob looked familiar. Yeah, he's mission 64. He turns into that crystal cocoon, and then way later in the game, when you're all done with every other mission, you can come back here and fight him as a beautiful butterfly. Not really a beautiful butterfly in my opinion, but you know. Just do it. Kill him. Sorry. I just don't have the interest. I don't have the patience either. Like, I enjoy playing this game, but I know by the time I'm done on the step, I'm going to be like, okay, not the step, but like as soon as by the time I'm done on Pulse, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm ready. Let's move on to something else. This isn't one of those games where I can just play it forever and not get bored. It's not a matter of getting bored, I guess, honestly, though. It's more a matter of just, I know my limit, and my limit is not doing all of those missions. So yeah, my apologies, but that's just how it's going to be. Does everybody else have all their stuff? Yeah, okay, cool. And we've got some CP to burn through, so now that we beat him, let's burn through it. Again, by the way, you can get a tetratic crown or a tetratic tiara to drop from him, but at the moment I think it's pretty rare to get that drop, so if you didn't get it, don't worry about it. One of the missions coming up soon, there's one more mission left in the Massif, Mission 5, and we're going to go do that in a minute once we get back there, but after that one, Mission 8, which takes place in the Valles Media, yeah, Media, because it's in between, that one gets you a collector's catalog, so then you can equip that, and that'll increase his drop rate if you get 5 stars on the mission from 5% to 25% for a tetratic crown. And if you have a connoisseur's catalog and you get 5 stars, it'll increase his drop rate for the tetratic tiara from 1% to 5%. So not great odds still, but, well, if you want more sprint shoes, this is the mission for you. So, all right, Lightning's got her accessory. So now her ATB level is the next thing we want to work on. And I think that should be right on the main drag again, because I don't think you can skip that. Yeah, they wouldn't let you skip the ATB level. But it looks like, yeah, she gets Ruinga right in the main drag as well, so we'll get the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch back for a little while. Understandable AF why you don't want to fight that thing. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily that it's going to be too difficult. It's just I don't have the patience to get all of the resources I need to fight it, I don't think. Or the fights leading up to it. I mean... Okay, so by the time I'm finished with the game, there's a mission that you have to do right before it, Mission 63, where you have to kill one of the giant dinosaurs on the steppe, right? Although I think it's a stronger version of one of the dinosaurs on the steppe. But I'm going to demonstrate, if it works out later, I'm going to have to see how much money I have, but I'm going to attempt to demonstrate a method of killing them before the end of the main game. So... it won't really, like, I'll be able to kill everything up to that point with enough dumb luck, but I don't feel like relying on dumb luck. I feel like just at that point I probably won't feel like playing again, so I gotta know my limits, and I know my limits when it comes to this sort of stuff. Like, once you get to a certain point, I'm like, no, I think I'd rather just end the game. So, my apologies. That being said, there are several playthroughs of the game on YouTube at this point from some pretty solid people that have done walkthroughs of the game that I would say do the fight justice. They use multiple different interesting strategies. There are some people that have done it at Stage 8 Crystarium, so like they're only maxed out to whatever you get in this chapter and they've beaten him, so it's pretty interesting. Like I said, it's worth looking up, I think, if you're wanting to see someone fight him, and you aren't going to get it out of me. So you look up somebody else. There's a bunch of different ways that people fight him, and I think a good chunk of them are pretty interesting. So, is it Bar Thunder that we want for later for Saz? I mean, I guess this would have helped in the Batuitus fight because he gets Bar Thunder right there, but I think we also want Bar Thunder for later because I think there's another mission with 11 bolts using Cie'th that we're going to get later on down the line where Saz will be a part of the party. That's not for a while yet, though, so don't worry about the fact that if you're doing what I'm doing, if you pass it up now, don't worry about it for now. We'll be able to come back and get it later, so. You didn't get your accessory yet. Because it's down here. Alright, there's accessory slot number 3 for you. Your ATB level's here, so I guess we start leveling Sentinel for you now. And it's all the way around the bend there. Alright, that's fine. We'll make it work. And then for you, we already got your accessory, right? Yeah, we just got it, so I wasn't sure what else to get here. So I think we'll just do Ravager for you as well. Like, we did it for Hope, so we'll do it for you. And we'll see where we end up. And I think I'm just going to max this whole section out. I think I'm just going to get everything in this section. Like, I won't skip the paths because I'm not, like, making a beeline for anything, you know? So we'll just get all this stuff. And we'll get the roll level for her. And then we should be okay. Okay, and that means everybody's got their 3rd accessory slots now, right? Yep. Cool. Alright, so back to you guys. We'll give you the Whistlewind Scarf. Not that one. Wrong one. Actually, put the Witch's Bracelet on, but take off that General's Belt, because I'm going to give that to Lightning and Fang, I think, for now. I don't know why I just removed that. You know, actually, I do know why I removed that, because I wanted to stick it down here. Wouldn't have let me do that if it was equipped, so... Alright, but we'll give them the General's Belts that we have for now, just to give them the extra physical resistance. That will come in handy where we're going. And also because we don't have our Tetratic Tiaras yet. The reason why we don't, by the way, is because in order to get them, we have to first complete Mission 14 in order for me to be able to go and get the Tetratic Tiaras. So that's what we're working up to, and we probably won't finish Mission 14 until probably next time. I don't think we're going to get to it today. I think we might get up to like Mission 10 or 11 at the most. Because remember, we're still walking everywhere, so that we have to take that into account. Here's R&D Depot, by the way. I'll show you what they have for sale once I sell this Whistlewind Scarf for chump change. Anything else interesting? I guess I could sell the Redacrosite, but I'll wait on that. I don't think I need it, but... Anyway, R&D Depot sells green needles. These give you quite a lot of bonus. They're organic materials that give you quite a lot of bonus towards your multiplier. I believe it just gives you a flat out like plus 100 to the base, so if you buy 5 of these you can get that all the way up. But take a look at the price tag on them. They're 7,000, and they don't instantly get you a ×3 multiplier just from using them, as far as I'm aware. So even if they did get you a ×3 multiplier just from using them, 36 sturdy bones, barbed tails, or vibrant oozes cost 2,880 gil, and that will always get you a ×3 multiplier no matter what weapon you're using or accessory you're using. So why would I ever pay for these? What's the point? I don't see the point. Particle accelerators and ultra-compact reactors, though, are pretty good. I believe particle accelerators give you a base of 4,000 experience, and ultra-compact reactors give you like 20,000 or something ridiculous like that. So I think they're fairly priced considering what they give you. Ultra-compact reactors in particular are at a premium because they're 50,000 gil, but we will be dipping our toes into that a little later because you don't get very many of these from the main game. So just have to keep that in mind. Adamantite is a catalyst. You can use it to transform weapons. Unfortunately, the Axis Blade falls in the vein of needing to be upgraded with adamantite, if I remember correctly, and you cannot find it. It's not available in any treasure chest. You have to buy it, and it's 220,000 gil. So that's pretty bad. But if you thought that was bad, wait till I tell you that the Procyons need dark matter in order to upgrade, and that's 840,000 gil. Again, a lot of money. Now, you might know why I sold the Procyon, because as much as I want 5 extra seconds of stagger on things at the maximum, actually I think it's 4 because they round down, I don't think that that's really specifically necessary. Now, trapezohedrons are used in order to make tier 3 weapons. So if you've already got a starred tier 2 weapon, if you want to make the tier 3 version, you're going to want a trap. You can get traps from a rare drop from a monster later on, but we don't have the means to fight that at this point. And honestly, if you're where I'm at and you have a tier 2 starred weapon, is that doable at this point? Yeah, I think it is, actually, because you could probably get Vanille's Marlboro wand starred by this point if you really, like, doubled down on that. But I wouldn't recommend it because I don't think you really need tier 2 weapons at all, personally, but I'm probably going to try to get them up to tier 2 just so I can show them off before the end of the thing. But if you need a trapezohedron at this point, you're going to be saving money for a while. I really don't have any tricks to get to 2 million gil. There aren't a whole lot of, at the moment, repeatable methods of getting gil, other than, well, what we can get from Mission 14, but we're not there yet, so we gotta wait until we get there first. So. Trapezohedrons! Having 3 different tier 3 weapons before the boss of this chapter, you were going insane. That is a lot of money. That is just 6 million gil, not even thinking about, you know, what you need in order to get the weapons up that far. I can see why. Did you finish this game, Marie, or did you drop it after a while? Because if you dropped it after doing that to yourself, I would understand. If I did that to myself, I would also be going insane. That's way more work than you need to do. Like I said, as far as I know, beating the final boss of this game, you really only need, well, you don't even need starred tier 1 weapons. People have beaten it without getting upgrades, if I remember right. So. Ooh, did I do our paradigms? I did, okay. I just wasn't sure after. Sometimes, like, you do them so often that you just forget if you did them or not. Let me actually make sure. Okay, the Maestro is staggered, so I'll just do this real quick to build his gauge a little bit. Okay, and finish him off. Oh, you did beat this game? Okay, good, because I was going to say, like, after all that work, I can't imagine just dropping it. Like, that's too much work to drop it, you know? Stronger now, you can fight Longui. Good, because Longui is the harder version of the fight that you can use in order to get trapezohedrons, if I remember correctly. I think he still drops them, though. So, but yeah, it's solid. Oh, did we not go down this other path? Or no, we did, and we came up it afterwards. Like, we jumped up here, and then I asked if these guys were taking a nap. That's what it was. This path over here, not the path going down. I'm chasing these guys around because they're too fast. Shadow the Hedgehog. But the upper path here has more CP, so I'll probably just use that one. And I guess we could go fight all of them, but yeah, it's okay. I'll just take the upper path and then we'll go from there. Hell, at this point we might be strong enough to take on those 2 Gelatitans that we saw back at the beginning of the area, so we'll see. I probably would want to use a Sentinel for that one, though, until we get rid of one of them, and then the other one I can take on with... oh, I got turned around. The other one I can take on with just Relentless Assault, probably. Because once there's just one, like, then it's a little easier. And I think they're susceptible to fog as well, so we can kind of shut them down with Fang once we get down to the 1. If I remember correctly, they can cast Waterga, which is the reason why dealing with 2 of them can be problematic, because they'll just Waterga and then Waterga again, and it's just... Excuse me, it's just a pain, in my opinion. As I say, lightning, you might want to run up a little bit on those guys. There we go. Ultimate weapons are such overkill. You literally had some absurdly low target time for the boss of this chapter because you had tier 3 weapons. Yeah, and that's part of the problem, right? Is that sometimes you don't want to overdo it with weapons and accessories and all that stuff because it affects your target time, right? That's the reason why, like, a lot of people like Brawler's wristbands, Warrior's wristbands, or their magic equivalents, which I think are like Sorcerer's marks and stuff. But because they just give you a flat bonus to your strength or magic, it affects your target time. And that's why I prefer just using the auto bravery and auto faith accessories, because these give you plus 40% on top of whatever your strength or magic is, and they don't affect your target time. So that's why I like these better than the ones that just give you a flat bonus, because it's a little bit easier to get in the target times this way. So like, for example, you could equip a warrior's wristband or something on lightning, which I think gives strength plus 100. But with the morale talisman on, for the first minute of battle, she has 36, 363 divided by 10 is 36, 72. So she has 145 extra strength from the morale talisman for the first minute of battle. So that's what, like 400, over 500 strength for the first minute of battle, and I only use one accessory slot to do it. I get a larger bonus than I get out of a warrior's wristband, and it doesn't affect my target time. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just not a big fan. I feel like this way just works a little better. It's more efficient for your target times than just equipping the flat bonus ones. At least, again, that's just my opinion, but like, the way I see it, why gimp yourself by trying to use something that makes things harder for you, Like, a lot of people like seeing the 5 stars, so why make that harder? I probably should have gone aggression, but that's okay. Really? Okay.
And I was just getting started.
Which weapons were you using? Used everyone's default weapons. Less need to think, minus giving Vanille the Belladonna wand. Yeah, I feel like the Belladonna wand and the Pandoran spear are worthwhile upgrades for them, but everybody else, they can pretty much get away with just using their default weapons. I would say switch Hope over to the Hawkeye just to take advantage of his most powerful stat, but other than that, yeah, like, you could go default weapons all day and be perfectly fine, so. Alright, so go like this for 2 seconds until I get slapped around too much and I have to use a Sentinel. We'll see. I think I'm going to have to. Yeah, because Fang's taking a beating, so. Maybe I can just get rid of these guys first and then we can switch over to a Sentinel. I'll go Combat Clinic. There we go. Alright, cure it up. I'll heal myself while you guys heal each other. Are you healing yourself? Okay, I'll heal Fang. Well, this is gonna hurt. Never mind. Alright, Smart Bomb it is. By the way that the stagger gauge works, I've kind of talked about it a little bit previously, but for every attack that a Ravager does to the stagger gauge, it adds 1 second to the stagger time. So, like, once he's staggered, every Ravager attack that was used adds 1 second to that time. Every Saboteur attack adds 2 seconds, and every Commando attack adds 3 seconds. Now, if you've maxed out the gauge by getting it to 45 seconds, it won't go any higher than that. But, obviously you have to get it there first before you can max, you have to max it out first by using enough attacks. But that being said, Rav, Sab, Rav usually has enough by the time you stagger something to almost max the gauge. It's probably like 40 seconds, something close to that. So if you just do that and it's like a 200% stagger. It's not the most efficient way to stabilize the gauge, but if you're in the absence of a commando, for some reason, which I guess you can do now, but yeah, if you're in the absence of a commando or you just want to get some debuffs on them, you can do that and still be perfectly fine with Rav, Sab, Rav. So, incidentally, I might want to use that in this next fight because there's 2 of them. You got your accessory already, so we're working on a TB level, and you've got a long way to go. Okay, that's it for that for now. Too many stops, though. Yeah, there's a lot of save points in here, and it sort of trips you up a little bit because you end up stopping and buying and stopping and buying. So it's, I mean, I guess I don't have to stop and buy, but yeah, it gets me a little bit of extra stats, which helps out with some of the fights. So I'm okay with it. I mean, you could just blitz through all of this, and honestly, a little bit later on in the step, there's actually a point where if you're doing things like in the order that I'm doing them, there's actually a point on the step itself where I think you'll get too strong, and there's a reason for that. There's a very specific enemy that we'll be fighting in a little while here, where you can actually get too strong to fight them properly. And that seems bizarre, but yeah, it's possible, and I'll talk about it once we actually fight them. But until that point, we don't have to worry about that too much. So we'll get there, though. When we get to that valley that I was talking about, oh lord, there they will be, and there we will have to deal with them. Not looking forward to it, but I have a strategy, so hopefully it'll work okay. Yeah, don't go to the side there, Snow. Go up. And then I was working on Ravager for you, so let's just, and we're switching to the sides here, so we'll go grab those. I'll get the magic first, just because that's her more primary stat. Alright, let's see if we can handle 2 of these. Did I say Gelatitans? I meant hybrid floras. Let's see if we can handle them together. Probably, like I said, probably Delta attack would be my best bet. Probably preemptive. Well, no, I guess a preemptive strike isn't really necessary. They're going to deal lots of damage no matter what I do, so. Alright, so let's just start the gauge up. I guess I could fire arrow, and that would work a little bit better. But yeah, try to get as far away from Fang as you can there, Lightning. Okay, stabilize the gauge a little bit, let her challenge these guys. And then try to get away from them so that I don't get slapped. So that I don't get slapped, Lightning, please. Alright, I'll fire arrow next go around here. There we go. I might use Renew, actually. There we go. Matter of fact, I'm going to go straight over to Relentless Assault, because I want this guy dead before his stagger gauge goes down. Oh good, Aurora should keep him in the air. I'll get help up if I need to with the Phoenix down. Yeah, I would say Fang whenever you're ready. Yeah, I do need to get him up with the Phoenix now, so I'll let Fang stabilize the gauge. I'll get hope up. I probably should have just gone straight to Combat Clinic there, but that's okay. Water Ga. Oh good. I tanked right through it. Fang did not, but that's okay. Alright, get Smart Bomb going. Whoops. There we go. Try to get Slow and Curse on him, so that if he casts Water Ga, it's not as much of a problem. And I think we can handle the damage at this point. So. Okay, well now that the gauge is up, we should be able to get that stuff on him a little easier. So, alright, switch around. What, no Aurora for me? That's okay. There we go. Thanks, Hope. Alright, now aggression. And go. Trying to keep him in the air as much as I can. Sometimes juggling enemies in this game I find to be pretty fun. So.
Hardly worth the effort.
And there we go. We get a 5-star. Yes, we did. Perfect. See, nothing to it. And now we can walk freely because that was one of the tougher fights in this section of the map. Now, that being said, we're about to walk into hell, but, you know. Funny part is there's not even that many encounters down in the valley there. Just a few, but they're all tough. So, I wouldn't even blame you if I would say they were too tough for this point in the game. Although if you want access to Mission 14, you actually have to beat Mission 5, and Mission 5 is down in the valley, so yeah, it's one of those things. Just gotta kind of deal with it. Why do you guys always run away from me? Is it because you know the end is near? Probably. I'll just keep them all kind of hanging around here and we should be in good shape. It's just the one? Yep. Okay, good. kind of hard to keep your eye on the ball when there's so many of us, isn't there? Okay. Back down here. There's an event point down here, which is interesting. Didn't see this here before. This doesn't show up until you leave the Padrian Archaeopolis. It's another one of the optional cutscenes along with the one back there, so...
Don't overdo it.
I won't. I know my limits, unlike some people.
Wah, wah.
Oh, now who's the tough guy?
I'm glad they're making jokes with each other. Okay, I was gonna say, it means that they've kind of hashed out their beef. What the hell is that?
What was that?
A Grand Pulse Fal'Cie.
Oh.
Used to see it flying around all the time.
And they said it had a home. Somewhere near Erba.
Uh-huh.
So that's good news, right? If we stay on its tail, we should end up in your village.
Is it weird that I get, like, Uncanny Valley vibes from the characters in this cutscene? Like, I don't know, it's just the way that their heads track and the way that they talk. It's just, I mean, the voice actors do an okay enough job. It's not like that's what it is. It's just like the way that they look at each other and they talk. It feels stilted. It feels like Final Fantasy X, which I suppose isn't really shocking considering this was made by the same development team, but I don't know. It feels like a cutscene that has HD graphics stapled on top of a bunch of character models moving like 2001 characters, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know if it does, but if it does, that's what it... I don't know if I know what that means even, so, but there you go. Did we get anything on the way back? I mean, I guess just this, so that's fine. I don't think we need that. So we won't bother. Just keep going. And was this mission 4 or was this mission 5? No, this is mission 5, and I want to pick this up before we leave because it's a D rank mission, but don't let that fool you. You need to be pretty tough in order to get there, so as you'll see in a minute. But this is mission 5, Joyless Reunion. Gotta fight an Edimu. So I'm to rid the world of Edimu. She was prowling the Sumatran Basin, last I heard. Perhaps it is time I pay her a final visit and join her as a Cie'th. I could not bear to raise a weapon against my own wife, after all, not even if her mind is no longer her own. I mean, they'd be granting her mercy, but I guess I can understand if you loved her that dearly. Anyway, again, we're walking all that way back. We could be teleporting back if, we want to just get a move on here, but we don't want to get a move on here because I would much rather keep the pedometer ticking up than just getting a move on. No, don't target the hybrid flora. Target the Triffid. Actually, I should probably be using attack. Or blitz would probably be more preferable. But I guess since I'm over here, it'll keep, never mind, me away from the hybrid flora. I was gonna say, is that gonna hit you, lightning? Yes, it is. Unfortunately. But yeah, see what I mean about Triffids? They have just enough HP to where they're not quickly dispatched. They inflict a lot of nasty status effects on you, and they just make it a lot harder to deal with the rest of the enemies. So, I don't know. I find that particularly aggravating. So, yeah, let me double Asuna myself, actually. Get rid of some of this crap. Hope can get rid of everything else, so. Or Cura us, because that's an AoE heal, so.
Thanks.
Let's do that one. Do another one. Oh, Fang's already out of it. Okay, back to Delta attack. Could probably do it now. Whatchamacallit. Ruin now. Instead of doing this. But, let me see if I can just spam fire and get rid of him. It's another fire arrow situation, so I'll do that in a second. When I have bar to build up, Alright, smart bomb it is. Slow and curse if possible. If not, I'm not worried about it. It's building gauge. And we've still got a little bit of HP. Water Go would probably kill Hope from here, but with slow on him, we might get away with staggering him before it becomes a problem. Ow. Alright, Relentless Assault to Go-Go. Nice Aurora Hope, that'll help. I'll wait. Aggression. I'll launch him. You guys seem unlikely to do that because it doesn't inflict any damage, but I'll launch him. It's fine. We should kill him. If not, then we can just do it like this. Goodbye.
Easy.
Ooh, just barely squeaked that one out there. It's the Triffids, and my penchant to cast Asuna on debuffs that probably wouldn't matter too much, but still. This one should be a little simpler. So the nice thing about backtracking in an area like this, though, is that the battles get a little bit easier as you go back, because a lot of the harder fights are, like, reserved for further into the area, you know? So. Alright. Go back here. I probably would have gotten that out of auto chain, honestly. Oh well. Fire arrow, that is. Because usually it picks stuff that's most effective if you have all the enemy information, and at this point we've defeated enough of them to have all of the enemy information, so. Take our last ruin, launch him up. No, stop that. Good, oh no, we didn't get it off before he launched it. That's unfortunate. Okay, he's down again, so up you go. And another 2 ruins should finish him. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I gotta stretch out a little bit. I finally got sick and tired of the weather. We've been in a snow band, basically, for the past 8 straight days. It has snowed with almost no relent. And I was wanting, for the past 8 days or so, to go for a walk or, you know, just go out and even though the weather's cold, just enjoy the weather. But when the weather is like this, it's like, okay, Mother Nature, I'm sick of waiting for you. I'm just gonna do it myself. So my dad finally brought over the elliptical from the other house. So I said, all right, I'm just gonna use the elliptical. So I did. I walked on the elliptical. Well, not walk. I got pretty vigorous jog in for about 15 minutes today. I had to get back into it because my he's feeding stooping. Oh no, he isn't. Never mind. Thought he was. Yeah, I have to get back into the exercise a little bit because I haven't done it in a while, but I don't think it'll be too hard to get back into my routine, especially now that all the equipment's over here, so. I think I might keep Delta Attack going. Like, I think I might keep Fang as a Sentinel, despite the fact that we're almost staggering him, because knowing my luck, we're going to, like, come off of this, and he's going to Feeding Stoop immediately and just kill Hope from 1000 HP. Okay, there's Feeding Stoop, so now after this we can switch to Relentless Assault and go from there. Once you see Feeding Stoop, it's pretty safe to just fight him straight out from there, because he usually won't use it twice in a row quickly, so. At least not from what I remember, so. Excuse me. What was that? Is there another Svarog flying around? Maybe. How's our CP doing? I don't think we have enough at this point to purchase anything. At least not for now, so I think we'll keep going. There's another save point not too far away from the basin itself where I can stop off and save and do all that stuff, so. I'm trying to remember now if there's any more optional cutscenes. I think we've seen all but one of the optional cutscenes that you can see if you... Basically, if you leave the step and you haven't seen the optional cutscenes yet, I don't think you can see them again, but you'll get the data log entries for them later once you get to the actual area where that fal'Cie that was flying around flew off to. Once you get there, then it'll just give you those data log entries. So you won't be without them, it's just you won't have seen the cutscenes. So if that's something you want, then you might want to consider that. Here's the waystone that we would have teleported to, by the way, if we decided not to walk all the way over here. But again, I got a pedometer ticking up. I got to make sure my steps are up. Got to get in my steps for the stream while I'm sitting here on the couch. I'm not even going to switch. I think we can probably kill them with just this stuff for a little bit. Maybe I'll switch now. See if we can kill them easily enough with Blitz yet, or if we're not strong enough for that. No, I guess we can't if they run away from each other. Alright, do this, and then off we go. Frost Strike would be nice right about now for lightning, but I think that's pretty deep in her Ravager tree, so... And we don't have the luxury yet, but that's okay. I think I missed a treasure around here last time. Like, I think I looked at it, and then the Triffids came out, and I was like, oh, hell no. I ain't dealing with that. I think it's over there. Yeah, okay. Well, you deal with these two Gorgonopsids first, and then once we've dealt with them, we can go get the Triffids and get the treasure and go from there. Funny, these guys still pose not a really big challenge, but they still pose enough of a challenge to not just die in one hit like some of the Panterans back in Chapter 3. Once we got our l'Cie powers, those guys were like cake. But at least we're still getting a 5-star rating out of it. That's the important part. Although I guess I've said previously that's not even the important part, because getting 5-star rankings in this game, I mean, it'll rob you of some potential aerosols that you could get. So I guess if you don't need those, then that's fine. But I don't know. I guess I just get like a good feeling from getting a 5-star rating. You know what I mean? It feels like I did effective work in that battle. So, all right, if that's all you're gonna do, that's fine. But if you're gonna like poison me and do all that other crap to me, no thanks. Let's see if Smart Bomb can do anything interesting here. I don't know if they're vulnerable to any status effects, but I guess it's worth a shot, right? Let's see. They have no status immunities, so why not? And we got slow on him, so now he won't spin attack.
Didn't even break a sweat.
Alright, let's grab this treasure. I think I might go down in the valley and grab one of the other treasures as well before I go, because it's off in an alcove. Oh, more Diabolic Tails, okay. Because it's off in an alcove down in the valley where it's not really something that I'm concerned about. But if we look over the ridge here, well, there's a Svarog, but also... Oh no. There are behemoths down in that valley. And in case you were thinking, oh, we don't got to go down there. Yeah, no, the mark is in an alcove down in that valley. So, good luck. I've tried going down there and fighting the mark without fighting the Svarog that's down there, which, by the way, it's not just the behemoth, and it's not just the Svarog. They're also accompanied by Triffids, so good luck with that. Yeah, I've gone down there and tried to not fight them, and the only way that I've managed to do that is with Deceptisol, and we only have one, so I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to waste a Deceptisol on that, you know what I mean? Especially since we're going to have a use for the Deceptisol later. So, there's a mark that we'll fight later on that's like in the middle of a road, basically, and because it's in the middle of a road and it won't turn around, that's the only way to get a preemptive strike on it is if we, whatchamacallit, is if we use a Deceptisol, so I'll probably just use it for that instead. Yeah, I think spin attack is, yeah, the one that inflicts all the bad status bullshit on you. So just, you know, not so much fun, but if it happens, it happens. Wonder if we got slow. Oh, we did. Fog and slow. He's susceptible to fog. That's interesting. I guess I could have told that from his lack of status immunities, but, you know.
Let's keep this up.
I wonder if that does anything for those guys, though. I wonder if pain would be good against them, because then they can't use physical attacks. So I don't know if that would just limit them to spin attack, or if that would take out all of their attacks. Because I don't know how they, like, classify special attacks like that, if they're considered physical or special, depending on what they are or what the case might be. So, here's the fight that I'm not too concerned about. It's just a bunch of Rongdas and Layaks, I think. Or maybe just all Rongdas. No, there's a Layak in there, or two. So this one's nice and easy. Just do one spam, aggression, blitz it up.
Wide open.
And then off we go. No conjure, stop that. He didn't stop that. That's okay. That's kind of pathetic. You guys must have almost no stagger resistance. When a physical attack that's in commando can stagger you, that's how you know you've messed up. Oh boy. But that's the easy one out of the way, or the easy two, really, because those 3 Triffids weren't particularly challenging either. The rest of the fights in the valley, not so easy. So we'll go see what we can do in just a moment. We're going to need a Sentinel for the Behemoth one, or 2. I think there's 2 Behemoths you fight, and it's not just normal Behemoths, no. It's much worse than just normal Behemoths. We'll talk about it when we get there. I think I might just fight the Svarog and Triffids first before I fight them, because the Behemoths are their own beast to deal with. I mean, obviously, but like they're pretty tough. So I guess at the very least, once we're done in the valley here, we're done with the whole like section of the map. Like we're done in the Yaschas Massif after this, so we can just go back to the the Vallis Media, there we go. And then we can continue. Sorry, air caught in my throat a little bit there. Okay, Crystarium a go-go. We're gonna need the boosts here, trust me. Where we're going, we're gonna need it. We're working on commando for you, and it's a long way to the top. So, can I get Ruinga now? I can get the Holy Hand Grenade. Too bad it won't really help me going forward here. But it's there. At least we've got it now. Now, Vanille's going to lag a little bit behind once we get everybody's ATB levels here, because this is ATB level number 5 for everybody. So, it's... since Vanille hasn't confronted her Eidolon yet, well, she doesn't get her 5th ATB level yet. Or her 4th, I guess the one that she got from Medic was her 5th, quote-unquote, but yeah, she doesn't get it yet, so unfortunately. I didn't get your ATB level yet for you, so I don't know why I'm trying to skip ahead here. But I will get it right now, so that's good. Excuse me, and we can even start working on Ravager for you, because it's only 4,000. Not bad. Extra magic, we could always use that for help. He's over 400 magic now. That is silly. Because that's 41, 82, 123, 164 extra magic. Actually, it's more than that because it's like 417, so it's like 166 extra magic from Faith that he has at the beginning of each fight. So that's, he's pretty strong. And he will continue to be pretty strong the further along we go. Is this an 8,000? No. Okay. So go now, going to work, take care. All right, Yuna, take it easy. Don't work too hard. Thanks for coming to the stream. I will take care, and we will see you on the next one. We will, we'll be out of the Yaschas Massif by the time you get back next time. I don't know where we'll be, but we will most likely be out of there unless I struggle for the next hour with the next 4, 5 encounters. I don't think I will, though. But yeah, take it easy. We'll see ya. Alright, oh yeah, that's right. I'm working on all of Ravager for her since she's already done with her other roles. So, or she's already done with her ATB level, that is. And accessory. Okay, so we got 5 TP to work with. We'll keep that in mind going forward. Save, and then off we go down into the valley to confront my greatest fear. I don't actually remember the best way of fighting a Demu. I think it's basically just Batuitus Light, but I'm not sure if he's susceptible to Slow and Imperil like Batuitus is. He might be. If he is, then I guess we can just handle him the same way we handled Batuitus. It's just going to be a shorter fight. So, I don't want to use Fortisol and Aegisol, though, if possible. Yeah, there's the Svarog. He flies around in a big circle. It's not just him. There's flowers all over the place over there. They'll turn into Triffids. Same thing here with this. Now, despite the fact that, oh, you know, well, if you get a preemptive strike, you can kill things faster in this one, I would actually recommend that you not get a preemptive strike on any Behemoth Kings that you're fighting for the entirety of this chapter. There's a very specific reason for that, and I'll talk about it when we fight him if I don't get immediately destroyed. We'll see. Oh yeah, Vanille doesn't have her summon yet. Yeah, I wanted to get all the optional cutscenes before we go get her summon, so that means we have to confront the Behemoth King without Vanille's summon. Yay! But again, it's not just him. It's also a couple of Triffids with him. Isn't that fun? Now, he absorbs electricity, so that's not a huge deal if we hit him with that, because then it won't really affect his gauge like at all for now. But we need a Sentinel in order to take care of the Behemoth King's attacks for now. While Hope and I take care of the Triffids, Fang can tank that up. We'll go Combat Clinic if we need to. I think this battle has a pretty large target time in it because the Behemoth King is, well, a Behemoth King. But we'll work on him in a few minutes. I might want to Libra him, actually, honestly. I don't know if I want to walk towards him. Okay, now that he's done his attack, it's fine if I walk towards him. I don't know, Mystic Tower, we've done this enough. Hang on, I've got Thundaras. I don't need 2 Thundaras, but that's fine. Stagger him, so. Actually, yeah, that's fine, you know. That'll work out. It won't work out, actually. Combat Clinic! Combat Clinic! I pressed the wrong button! Oh, I can Asuna, actually, while Hope does the healing. And do another one to get rid of that. Hope, go ahead and blast off a Cure or a Curo while we're at it. Alright, and now we go to work. So, stabilize the gauge so that we don't lose it. We lost it, that's okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to Delta Attack. And we're going to switch between Delta Attack and Mystic Tower every couple of rounds. He has 650% chain gauge, and Fire and Blizzard are the most effective things to use on him, if I remember correctly. Although I think Fire and Water also works. You don't want to use Thunder or Arrow, because I think he's resistant or absorbs them. Okay, switch back. Now here's what you want to do. You do not, and I repeat, you do not want to have his HP lower than 50% before you stagger him. If you get it below 50%, he will stand up, and you will die, especially at this point in the game. So don't do that. Just slowly inch your way up to 650%. I would actually recommend trying to get as close to 50% as you can without staggering him first, and then when you're at, like, I want to say, like, 60%, I would say. That's when I would kind of go towards, like, staggering him. It works a little bit better when there's just one Behemoth King, because then you won't have to worry about your faith and bravery running out by the time you're done with this, but we'll see if we can work them up. I'm going to probably switch back to Delta Attack in a second, though, because this is a little too high of a gauge at the moment. How you doing, Fang? Okay, 1363 is fine. I'll throw a potion. Matter of fact, I might just ruin all the way up to his stagger gauge at this point. No, actually, never mind. Switch to Mystic Tower. Finish this off. and then go aggression as soon as he staggers. And I mean as soon as he staggers. Spam this up. And you want to keep him in the air as much as possible. If he falls, launch him back up as quickly as you can. Even if it means that Fang is on the ground at the moment, I would prefer to keep him launched than anything else. Okay, now stop. I'll just Phoenix down Fang really quickly. Thank you, Hope, for keeping him in the air, because good lord, if he came down, we'd be in a world of hurt. Okay, Fang's up there, so now she'll launch him. And with that, we should have him. Whew.
Just another battle.
Okay. That's a tough fight at this point. Look at the target time. 10 minutes, 24 seconds. But that's how you do it. Use a Sentinel, get rid of the Triffids first, then slowly inch your way up to staggering the Behemoth King. Once you get him staggered, and I mean as soon as you get him staggered, if you wait too long, he will stand up and you will die, even though he's staggered. As soon as you get him staggered, switch to aggression, launch him into the air, and then juggle him there until he dies. Because if you can't kill him in that time, and by the way, that's why you want to get him close to 50% before staggering him, because then you only have to deal about 200,000 damage during his stagger, and then you're fine. So, there you go. Yeah, no, you won't live long enough to hit 10 minutes. He'll stand up and you'll be dead. The reason why I say he'll stand up and you'll be dead is because if I remember correctly, he has access to Thundara, Thundaga, Painga, and Fogga while standing up. And that's not even to mention the fact that he swings his weapon like once every 3 seconds. So, good luck with that. Oh, and also he gains 800,000 HP when he stands up and fully heals himself. So, don't deal with that. Why would you ever deal with that? Don't do it. It's not worth it. I think you can stand over here and Svarog can't get you, though, if I remember correctly, because he's too friggin' big. Never mind. But yeah, it's him and 2 Triffids, so... Same thing as with the Behemoth King. Switch to Delta attack, let Fang do the Sentinel work while we get rid of the Triffids. And then once they're gone, we can work on the Svarog. This one's a lot easier than the Behemoth King fight, though. The Triffids are pretty easy pickings. We can heal afterwards, and then we can go from there. I wouldn't use any TP here, though. I'm planning on summoning, probably, for the Edema. Well, I guess I don't have to summon for the Edema fight. So, as a matter of fact, let's just Mystic Tower it. Get him staggered. Or get him close. And then once he's staggered, we should be able to finish him, and then we'll Combat Clinic so that we don't get absolutely smashed. Yeah, I was going to say, can you get rid of him there, Hope, so we can Combat Clinic? Because that will help. You do that while I Asuna everything off of everybody. Usually the AI won't Asuna immediately. It usually only Asunas once it has HP in the green for everyone. So that's why usually if I have 2 medics in the party and I'm one of them, I'll let the AI heal and I'll just do the Asuna work. I just find it works better personally. There we go. See, but yeah, see how we were all in the green there, and that's when Hope did the Asunas? So, there you go. And I'm not really worried about Fog or Curse, honestly, on a Sentinel. Nice camera angle. Because Fog doesn't affect anything Sentinels do, as far as I'm aware. It doesn't last very long either. And Curse, well, Sentinels have basically Iron Stance, so, like, I'm not really too concerned about that part. It's fine. Stabilize the gauge, and then go from there. It's more like her entire Eidolon scene. Yeah, her entire Eidolon scene, I'll have questions. we'll talk about the questions, but I will have questions. That's fun. Alright, should be staggered now. Switch to Delta attack. Wait for Feeding Stoop. Keep the Sentinel in there until you see it. We might not see it in a minute, and then I'll switch, and then he'll immediately use it. Although we're all at pretty high HP, so I think we should be okay if I switch. He's going to use it right now, though. Yep, there it is. See? As soon as you switch off, that's fine. And like I said, that just kills Hope from almost full HP, because it's like 4 hits, so... Not really great for Hope, but we got him, so it's fine. Now, is that a 5-star, though? Yeah, I didn't think so. It's because I'm using a Sentinel for safety. They probably want you to use, like, Rav Sab Rav there and just have Fang use Pain, because he's very susceptible to Pain. And Pain shuts him down almost completely. I think the only thing you can do is that spit attack when you have Pain on him. But I don't have Pain yet, so I don't get to use that fancy move. Alright, so I guess Bituitous Light. So we'll just do the same thing we just did. Except this time we'll do it without the Fortisol and the Aegisol, and we'll see if we can live long enough. So I probably will end up using Bahamut just to make it a little more safe as a result of that. Alright, so Sab sends Sab. I think, again, we can do a... whatchamacallit. I think, again, we can get Slow and Imperil on him, if I remember correctly, so that's what we're going to try to do. Send Rav... Com Rav Rav, and then just Com Rav. Okay, and yeah, like I said this time, we have enough Fortisol and Aegisol to actually do this with it. But do I want to? How much do we have again? 7 and 4. Yeah, I do, actually. We'll have enough, don't worry. We'll still have enough to make do going forward. So I don't know why they stuck this guy where they stuck him, though. He's easier than Bituitous, so you'd think that they would stick him like somewhere that's easier to access, but apparently not. I'm not going to switch yet. See if I can get slow on him first. If not, then I'll just work on getting... I'll try Curse now. We don't really need it, but, you know... Oh, Deep Protect's on. Not that that really helps. Okay, we got Curse, and now I'm going to try to get slow. Got Imperil. That's good, too. Alright, let's build the gauge up a little bit. I think he's the same as Bituitous as well. I think he's only susceptible to magic, if I remember correctly. But I think his Miasma also... Yeah, it inflicts Imperil and Poison, so I guess that's annoying, but... You know, we got it. Wind Slash ain't too bad. Alright, I'm going to build the gauge after this one. I'm just going to go Com Rav Rav, and then we should stagger him, and we should beat him pretty quickly after that. And with Curse on him, if we kind of like stagger our attacks a little bit like this, we can kind of keep him stagger locked pretty much until everybody starts attacking, so... I'll wait. Okay, now go. And that should be it. Yep. Good. Didn't even need Bahamut. Look at that. I mean, I used a Fortisol and an Aegisol, and that's why I didn't need Bahamut, but Wind Slash does pretty good damage if you don't have Shell. Or rather, I think it's actually Protect, if I remember correctly. Despite the fact that it's called Wind Slash, it's not Wind Elemental and it's not magic, it's physical. So that's silly, but I do remember that from the Super Boss fight, because the Super Boss also uses Wind Slash, and it's pretty strong there too, but it's you reduce the damage of it by using Protect, so yeah. But that takes care of all the missions in the Yaschas Massif. We don't have to come back here ever again for this particular playthrough. But if you... I think there's a couple of other missions here in... like later on, past mission 34, which is the last one that I personally care about. So... This is kind of the nice thing, though, about having teams that are basically fixed, is that you kind of know, okay, this is exactly the paradigm deck that I want to use for this particular team, and you just kind of have that in the back of your head at all times, so you can just very easily switch them to it. Almost becomes like muscle memory, you know? So. Alright, so, you remember how that last fight with the Behemoth King had 2 Triffids in it? You remember that, right? I made it look pretty easy, but it was still pretty challenging, right? Try fighting a Behemoth King with 3 Triffids. Oh. Alright, immediately switch so I don't get flung into the stratosphere. Ow. I might use Ruinga, actually. To be honest. I might also, like, have to heal lightning in a second. Good lord, man. I use Ruinga once I lose my bravery. Yeah, definitely gonna need a lightning. Was it really necessary for you to do the run-up if you were just going to do the backflip? Just saying. Alright, try to stay away from the... You know, I might as well do, like, 3 attacks, basically, and then stop. 1, 2, 3, stop, so she doesn't do the backflip. Because then I'm not flipping into the way of the behemoth's attack. So... Alright, okay, hang on. Emergency! Emergency! Quickly, thank you. Alright, we'll go combat clinic so we can stabilize this situation real quick.
Thanks.
Alright, we're in the green. Double up on Asuna. Who's he Asunaing? Himself? Okay, I'll get Fang. There we go. And I'll Asuna your D-Shell away. And back to Delta attack. Okay, we've stabilized the situation. It cost the Phoenix down, but we still have a good chunk of those, and we won't be doing this battle every day. We only have to do it twice to get out of here. Isn't that fun? God damn. Shh, don't talk about that thing they call a super boss. Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things. Literally. It's just one of those things. Okay, we need combat clinic again. Yeah, I was gonna say, top yourself off there, Hope. I'll just get Fang a little bit, and then we'll go back to Delta attack. I know we've got Deep Protect on, but I'll get rid of that in a second once we get rid of the Triffid. I'll get rid of it especially now since she's getting hurled, good lord. Alright, I'm not worried about his stagger gauge for right now. Let's Asuna that Deep Protect away. And now we go Delta attack. Okay, so now we can start. Looks like we haven't done too much damage to him either, so we should be in semi-okay shape, at least for now. Oh yeah, fire water. There we go. Build the gauge up. I think Hope is actually moving a little bit away from Fang. That's good. I think the Behemoth's actually moving him away from Fang, which is good because it means he won't get hit by the swipes as much. And we won't have to combat clinic as often. Yeah, we're kind of spreading out, which is nice, because spreading out makes this a little bit easier to deal with. I don't care how the process of spreading out works. We might be spreading out exclusively because we're getting pushed, but that's fine. It works. Alright, I'll probably stick to Delta attack for another couple of rounds. The gauge is stable enough at this point, but I want to do a little more damage just to get him a little closer. It is like, yeah, 487,620 HP is what he's got. If you get to the point where he stands up, he ends up with like 1.3 million, so... Good luck with that one. Looks like he's susceptible to curse, though, so that's kind of nice. Your formation is literally how you fight Yaschas, because fuck Yaschas. Yaschas is another one of those situations where it's like, who designed this and why? Are they a sadist? Kaga? No, that's a different series. But I ended up, when I fought Yaschas in the vanilla version of the game, I literally just did it with gambits. I couldn't be asked to do it any other way. It just wasn't, in my opinion, it just wasn't worth it any further. Alright, I think that's good. Let's get him staggered. And hope that Fang doesn't immediately use Metaguard right as I'm doing that, because otherwise, problem. Not a problem yet, we're good for now, but... Okay, he's in the middle of an attack animation, so, okay, there we go. We're good. Alright, now lightning, keep him in the air. Juggling! I love juggling! I'll wait. Now. Okay. Send him skyward, so he can meet Link and Zelda. Okay, cool. Now that I know how to do that, though, like, that was one of the things I did in the 4 days that I was off. I was like, how the hell do I beat these guys? And so I went and just labbed it out. But now that I know, it's like, wow, this is a lot simpler when you come in with a plan. So, be fair, you actually like the Kaga Emblem games, because after you get cheap-shotted once or twice, you learn. Yeah, and I don't mind the Kaga games either. I've played... Well, I actually played Shadow Dragon relatively recently, and it felt really easy, but I actually have played XIII as well, which from what I understand was also made by Kaga, and I enjoyed that one pretty good. It was pretty difficult in a lot of points, but I mean, I can kind of just, you know, say that's up to my own punishment because I decided to play hard mode, so... Excuse me. At least I think I did. I don't think it's... I think the hard mode where it's like the different stars is Shadow Dragon, and hard mode in FE12 is just hard mode. So... If I remember right, so... next one is 6. Oh, and you've almost got your 5th ATB gauge. That's perfect, because we can get that at 8,000. We'll get that from the next Behemoth King fight, which is in one battle after this. We've got one fight left. This next section, now here's a real dick move. There's a save point right here, right? Well, here's the problem. The save point leads, past this save point is an alcove with a treasure chest in it. That's it. That's all that's over there. There's 2 fights, so I guess actually it's not the next fight after this next one. There's 2 fights and an alcove with a treasure chest. If I remember correctly, the treasure doesn't even have anything good in it. But now you're soft locked if you can't beat the Behemoth King, unless you can run around it, which you can do. But if you have a hard time fighting the Behemoth King and you saved here accidentally, good luck. FE12, Dragon Emblem. You've done 2 playthroughs of FE12. It hurts, but you can see in the supports that Chris has a lot of personality when the game devs want them to have personality. Yeah, I think the supports were written by multiple people, honestly. It feels like that sometimes, because some of them feel like this guy has no personality, and some of them feel like, wow, this person is actually fairly well developed. So... Alright, so it doesn't look like we'll be spamming Thundaga on anything in here, which is fair, because those Behemoth Kings don't get damaged by Thundaga anyway, but we'll be getting Thundaga pretty soon, so that's good. You've got your accessory. We're still working on ATB level for you. So let's keep going. Oh, okay, is this... Okay, it's 8,000, but we have enough. I didn't stop quickly enough, but we had enough, so I went unpunished. Chris is a gremlin. Yeah, Chris can be a pretty big gremlin in some of those scenes. Oh, it's fun, though. I had fun with watching a lot of those. I don't know, a lot of the supports that I found in FE12, like, some of them were pretty, like, tame. Like, there wasn't really a whole lot of thought that went into them, but some of them were pretty funny, so... Alright, 8, 16, 24, 32. I think you need the most to get your next ATB level there, Snow. It's probably because you had to go so far to get your accessory in the other one. I'm just working on Ravager for you, right? Yeah. Okay. Get you some strength. And I would say that you're never going to use, but that's a lie. You are going to use your strength for exactly 1 fight in this entire game. So Faniel's strength is actually warranted. You know why? Because if you get Commando as a secondary role for her, you can't even get Ruin right away. You have to get Attack in Stage 1 first, and then do all of Stage 2 to get Ruin for her. Why? But I might secondary Commando for Vanille. I haven't figured out exactly what I want to do for all the secondary roles yet. Although, if we're being honest, a lot of them will probably be Saboteur. Because there are certain situations where having Saboteur on certain people is helpful. Like, there's a grinding method in Chapter 13 that is a lot safer to do if Hope has ventured into Saboteur a little bit. Even though, in my opinion, Hope is the worst Saboteur in the game. But... it actually helps in this particular case, so. He also actually, surprisingly enough, Hope actually plugs a hole in, if you decide to invest in Saboteur for multiple people, he plugs a hole in the Lightning and Snow Saboteur duo, because between the two of them, they have access to almost every they have access to every debuff in the game, but they're missing Dispel. And by Dispel, I mean just the regular Dispel. They get Dispel Ga, but that's a technique. They're missing Dispel. However, Hope actually gets Dispel early on in his Saboteur tree, so if you have a party of Lightning, Snow, and Hope, they can be a singular Saboteur for any situation. Now, they don't have the Pandoran Spear or the Belladonna Wand to fall back on for the success rate boosts, but if you have 3 Saboteurs, that basically covers you for boosts. Because for every Saboteur you have in the party, you get higher success rates on your debuffs. Again, that's one of the things that determines it, and the other thing that determines it is the chain gauge. So if you have both of those at pretty high amounts, then you actually get a little bit of better stuff out of it. So I would use Ruinga in this particular situation, but, well, we have Bravery, so don't worry. We'll have plenty of opportunities to use Ruinga later on in the game. So. Let's see if I get it. Yeah, Fire Arrow. Okay. From an auto chain. I don't trust auto chain in case that wasn't clear to do what I want it to do. So usually I don't, but sometimes I do. And sometimes it works out. But most times I'm disappointed. Why did you guys separate? Damn it. You gotta not separate so I can blitz again. Oh well. I guess we'll switch just for the refresh, because then we should be able to get rid of them quickly. Like, see, when it's just Triffids, I don't even care about the debuffs that they use. It's fine, like, we can deal with them. But when it's Triffids and something else, it's like, holy man. Got something to worry about now. We really are just going to spend the entirety of this stream in the Valis, though, aren't we? Because it's going to... I mean, we don't have to fight the Triffids there again, but we're going to have to fight the Behemoth King and the Triffids to get out of the valley, and the Svarog and Triffids again on the way out, so... And also, here's a Svarog and 4 Gorgonopsids. So that's fun. It's a good thing Hope's already got Blazara. We can get some big damage on them. I'll just try Thundara-ing, or Water-ing, and then I'll switch over to Delta Attack so we can go from there. I can blitz it up!
Wide open.
I don't actually know if we're close enough to where we can hit all of them, but that's fine. We should target all the Gorgonopsids before we target Svarog, though, since he's at the top of the aggro list. Okay, you're done.
Come on then.
I'll just stay down here. Ruinga doesn't do more damage, by the way, if you're hitting, whatchamacallit, if you're hitting a single enemy than regular Ruin. If I remember correctly, it does about the same amount of damage as a regular Ruin. It's just that it's spread out across multiple enemies, and it's a wide radius. So, if you're just down to 1, I don't know if it's worth using the Holy Hand Grenade. Might as well save it for situations where there's lots of enemies, you know. Alright. Hope, let's finish staggering him. Alright. Gonna do this even though I'm probably gonna get feeding stooped. You know, probably in order to avoid feeding stoop, I should just, like, try to do the same thing I do with the Behemoth King, where I, like, stagger my attacks so that we just do it all at once, you know? Like, so that he's always getting, like, chain stunned. But since I didn't, Hope usually ends up dying. It's okay, we got a 5-star. Hope will be fine. It's that lack of Tetratic Tiara, man. Once that wears off, he's got paper-thin defenses again. I mean, I guess I could avoid that by using Synergist, but... I think Synergist is probably my least used role. Like, I use Sentinel pretty heavily. I use Medic in most situations when HP is low, because potions aren't as reliable in this game. I use Commando, Ravager, and Saboteur pretty heavily. But, I don't know, Synergists, it's like... I could just use Fortisol and Aegisol. Now, there are certain situations, especially when you don't have Fortisol and Aegisol to fall back on, where they're worth it, but, like, some battles don't last long enough for it to be worthwhile for me to use it, because, especially if it's a situation where it's like, oh, my, you know, buffs from the Tetratic Tiara, Morale Talisman, all that stuff, they'll last long enough. If it's other situations where, yeah, it's just the fights aren't hard enough for me to need it, then it's like, okay. Immediately switch. Let's show Ruinga. Why not? Boom. That being said, we still have Bravery, so it's probably more worth it for us to blitz than doing anything else at the moment. Oh, okay. Well. I think I might have caught the other Triffid while I was at it. Yes, I did. I'm probably going to need a combat clinic in a second, honestly. Especially to get, like, the debuffs. So I'm going to get the debuffs off. I know there's still 2 Triffids left, but let's get the debuffs off Fang. Oh, she's getting spun again, so they're about to come back. Never mind. Oh, never mind, they did come back. I wasn't sure. Oh, and they're back again. I will get this stuff off soon. Alright, Hope, just give her a quick... Yeah, there you go. A quick boost, and then we'll go back. Ooh, the backflip actually came in handy there. We backflipped away from the behemoth attack. Fun. And actually, in this particular case, I'd like to get away from the behemoth, so I'm going to do this and just exit out of that. I'm not far away enough from him yet, but I might. Never mind. Get there. Fang? Why is he on me? Did you lose aggro? How is that possible? Okay, never mind. She's got the aggro back. We'll go to Combat Clinic in a minute once we get this guy taken care of, I think. And then we'll top everybody off and we'll work on the Behemoth King after that. Okay, done. Combat Clinic. You do that while I get the status debuffs off of Fang so she can actually handle things. By the way, I wouldn't, like, ever recommend actually casting Raise, by the way, just because it actually gives you back less health than just straight up using a Phoenix Down from your inventory. I believe a Phoenix Down gives you back 70% of your max HP, whereas Raise only gives you, like, 30%. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, that being said, if you haven't found a weapon for Lightning that you like yet, she has access to a weapon called a Life Saber, and that increases the amount of HP that you get back when you use Raise, but at that point, you might as well just use a Phoenix Down, you know? Like, if that's what you need, why give Lightning a weapon that otherwise doesn't really do anything for her, you know? Although, actually thinking about it, though, now that I mentioned that, I believe it's possible that... Now, I know for a fact that that affects the amount of HP that's restored when you use the Renew skill on a KO'd ally as well. Normally, it heals everyone for 50% of their max HP, but it also revives anybody who's downed with 50% of their HP. And I think Renew, with the Life Saber, it's like 70% with just the first level of Life Saber, and then it's 100%, I think, with the second, whatever the one after Life Saber is, whatever it upgrades to at Tier 2. But I don't know if that also heals everybody else for more HP. I would imagine it does, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so... It might be worth testing. I don't know if I'm going to buy the Life Saber to bother, but might be something interesting that could be tested. Are you going to stagger him, Hope, with your... Yes, you are. Okay, off to aggression. Thank you, Fang. Okay, my turn. My turn to keep the juggling act going. Ooh, we might have done this a little bit funky. Yeah, we should be able to still launch him, yeah. We're good. Just like that. So, pretty consistent 5-star ratings. Now, they take a while to do these battles, so obviously this isn't a good spot for, like, CP farming. Because if you want to get CP and you want to fight behemoths, you might as well just go fight the behemoth and the other guy that's at the north end of the steppe. I haven't shown that yet, so I'll show that off once we get higher up in the steppe. It's, like, all the way on the northern section, but once we get there, I'll show it off. And that one gives... a more comparable amount of CP to what we just got from the Behemoth and 3 Triffids without nearly as much work. So if you want to farm anything to do with Behemoths, north of the steppe is probably your best bet. But we're not there yet, so since we're not there, we won't bother just yet. Alright. Delta attack. I'll do this to make it feel like I'm moving faster than I actually am. because I'm ending after the 3 attacks, so... It looks like I got a bar and a half from every attack chain. Now we're learning. Switching it up, arrow fire this time, huh? I guess that's something I wouldn't have because I normally start at fire. Okay, we can switch to Ruin now. It's a lot harder to hit this guy with physical attacks because of his weird wonky hitboxes. But on top of that, I think he's also more susceptible to magic than physical anyway. So, like, I think if we look, we can just see that he's resistant, yeah, to physical attacks just normally, so... Well, at least not sending me into the air to fight him with the auto chain. That would be really annoying. And since I'm at 1006 HP, I'll probably just keep a Sentinel on once we stagger him. Just so that way, once he uses Feeding Stoop, then we can switch, but Fang can tank it if he does, so... Okay, there's the Feeding Stoop. Wait for it, switch, and go to town. There. Now again, will it be 5 stars? No, most likely not. Oh, okay. That's cool. I think we got a 3-star last time. You know, probably because I used Medic, actually. I think using Medic there makes the difference. Oh. Edimu's little chunk of the map has Rongdas in it now. Cool. Well, we didn't fight these guys before, so this will be nice and quick CP. And then we'll go fight... Will I fight the Behemoth King and 2 Triffids again? I think I will, honestly, just to get the extra CP. Stop that. And then we'll fight the big group of Rongdas and Layaks over there. We'll fight the Triffids on the way out. The Gorgonopsids on the way up. I probably won't fight those Triffids over by the treasure chest that's up there, though, anymore, because, like, that's not even remotely in my way. So... But this will be some nice CP that we'll have from doing all this. And the CP that we get in here is very valuable. It's making us effective against most of the other things that we'll fight on the step. So, like, if you can kill the Behemoth Kings here using the strats that I'm showing you to do, then you can handle almost anything on the step. So, if you're in this situation and you're like, yeah, okay, this strat works, I can handle the stuff that's... you know, that we're fighting in the Massif, whatever you want to call it. Yaschas Massif? I don't know, there's too many, like, hard consonants there. My brain doesn't like it. Too many Romance languages in my head. Okay. Tail kept me from hitting him there. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have walked right in front of him. Okay, that's fine. We'll get rid of the debuffs in a little bit. By the way, this 3 attacks and cancel thing also works for Fang because she does that 3-pronged attack at the end of her attack chain. And if you don't like it, well, this works too. So, you know, why am I even doing this? I gotta get rid of status. Get rid of it on Fang, because good lord, man! And then I'll get rid of mine. Thank you, Hope. That should be good. Alright. Start the offensive pressure. That's it. Keep knocking us away from him. Good. That should make it a little easier for us to get away. Hope now would be a good time to get the hell away from Fang. Just saying. Okay, Lightning, you're not helping. That being said, though, Sentinel has a passive bonus where if they're the target of an attack, it actually reduces the damage that fellow party members take from that attack. So even though Hope is being hit by that swipe, he's not taking as much damage as he would if he was taking it straight up, you know. So, and it doesn't have as large of an area as it seems like it would. So, all right, after this we'll go Delta attack for a little while. He's not quite at the HP total I would want him to be at. So, yeah, back up before you get hurled, Lightning. We don't need that right now, because you would probably die from this HP level for hurl. Matter of fact, just make sure. There we go. That should be good enough. What part of back up do you not understand, Lightning? Okay, that's actually good because Fang got moved off to the side now. So that should make it a little bit easier for her to not be directly in everybody else's way. Alright, do that real quick. Switch back. And then we gotta go aggression, like, almost immediately. There we go. Fang! Before he stands up, please. Oh, thank you. She was just in time for that there. That hurl would have made this a lot harder if she got hurled. I mean, I would have been able to launch him, but it's still, it would have made things a little tougher. You can always hear it, by the way. If Fang is off screen and you can't see when she's done with her attack, just listen for her to pause and then swing her weapon, because she'll always swing it like a ting, 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 and then when she pulls the prongs off of it and hits him with both of them, she'll pause. So she'll pull it out and it'll be like ting, 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 and then she'll go ching. So when you hear that last swipe after a pause, that's when she's doing the last attack in her attack chain. And that's when you go up and you continue the juggle. So, there you go. So that's all the advice I can give on Behemoth Kings. You will fight them out on the steppe as well, so just keep in mind the strategies that you've learned here. Don't preemptive strike them, because Behemoth Kings actually stand up based on what their HP is at. If they get below 50% of their HP, they have a very high chance of standing up, and if they get to 40%, they will stand up no matter what you do. So just keep that in mind and try to hit them with a non-preemptive strike. And also, if there's ever a situation out on the steppe where they're fighting a different enemy, the only situation where I would say yes, it's okay to go and fight them while they're fighting another enemy is if they are in a situation where it's like a preemptive strike and you can fight. There's only one Behemoth King on the steppe where I would say it's okay to get a preemptive strike, and I'll show you which one that is. But basically, just don't get a preemptive strike on them. It's counterintuitive because a lot of the time that's what you want to do, because preemptive strikes almost give you a full stagger. But if you do that, you'll lower his HP so quickly from the stagger that you might accidentally get him below 50% before you stagger him again, and then the launch and juggle trick doesn't work because he'll stand up and then you die. So yeah, don't do that to yourself. It's not worth it. Oh, someone's speedrunning Final Fantasy V for Games Done Quick. Gonna go watch that when you're done. Sounds like a plan, Marie. I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen a Final Fantasy V speedrun now that I think about it. I don't think I have. Can we beat these guys with just aggression? I don't think so. Probably go back to Relentless Assault and just go from there. Just get rid of them one at a time. Oops. That's Aqua Strike. There we go. I'm wasting bar! Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen a Final Fantasy V speedrun now that I think about it. I'm not sure if I have, because I don't know any of the text. Usually if it's a game that I really enjoy, I'll watch speedruns occasionally just to see like how players play it efficiently. And then sometimes if it's a game I haven't played for the stream yet, I'll even incorporate some of their strats into my strats when I play it for the stream, even though I'm not speedrunning it. Some of the strategies we saw in Skies of Arcadia were actually speedrun strats, if I remember correctly. So, and there's a few other situations. So, like this particular playthrough, I owe a lot to. There's a challenge on YouTube, which is a no Crystarium upgrades and no equipment upgrades playthrough of the game. It wasn't finished NCU and EU because you get up to the boss of one of the areas here in Pulse, and you just flat out can't beat him without taking like 25 minutes to beat him without using the Crystarium or equipment upgrades. But the rest of the game up to that point is doable without Crystarium upgrades or equipment upgrades, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting strategies, most of them using summons, which I was a fan of because I've never really used summons to much effect in this game. So, and I think it's like what I said with Cole before, where the reason why summons, in my opinion, aren't particularly effective is that you just level up more quickly than a lot of the summons do in terms of how strong you get, you know? So it's a little bit of a shame, but that's just the way that it ends up hashing out for me. What else do I want anyway? Fyra and Blazara wouldn't be bad to have. 6, 12, 18. Yeah, you know, I'll go grab those. Why not? Might as well. Yeah, now that we have ATB level and whatchamacallit. So I guess I'm going to do Ravager level 4 for Lightning since I just bothered to get Blazara and Fyra. I'm only going to get one roll to rank 4, to level 4, before we finish up the Archeolt step. Because if you go much higher than that, it gets tougher and tougher to not accidentally push Behemoth Kings over their threshold. Did I mention that? That's why you don't want to get too strong here. Because if you get too strong, you might actually do so much damage from the strength and magic that you have that you won't be able to stagger the Behemoth King at about 50% of his HP, even if you do everything the same way that I just did it and you don't get a preemptive strike and all that stuff. You might still be too strong, and if you're too strong to do that, then the Behemoth Kings will pose a much more significant threat for you. So you can actually become so strong that you mess that part up for yourself. It's kind of silly. Like, it's not something that I've ever really experienced a lot in a game. Like, most of the time it's like, yeah, you can approach a challenge in a game by being too weak, but are there very many games where you can approach a challenge by being too strong and it's actually harder because you're too strong? I don't really remember a lot of situations where that's happened before. So, do I want to get your Commando all the way up, or would I rather do Saboteur? Let's see what you've got in Saboteur. I could get Pain for you, which is, yeah, right there. So now if we fight something where Pain is a necessary evil, which there are actually enemies on the steppe where that's something I can use. So let me actually get that real quick for you. So I guess we'll do Saboteur for you. And you have just enough to not quite get Pain, but that's okay. We'll come back for the HP after I get Pain. And I'll probably also get Painga, even though I don't plan on using it. The reason is because I've already actually bought a bunch of the Ga spells down there. Like, I think I've bought Fog Ga and Slow Ga and all that stuff down on the earlier parts of Fang's thing. So what this will do is it'll put all the Ga spells on the right side of her list, and all of the single target ones, which are the ones I care about, on the left side of her list. So then if I want to have Fang debuffing and I'm in control of her bar, I can just scroll down the left side of the list, and there's all the spells I actually want to cast, you know what I mean? So then I can just completely ignore the right side of her list, which has all the Ga spells on it. There are a couple of tiny situations where a Ga spell is useful, but very few. So, and one of the situations is actually, like I said, a grinding spot for Hope later on, but again, that requires him to get up to Saboteur level 2, I think. What does he get here? Excuse me, Deprotect Ga. Yeah, so it's level 2, because that's where he gets De-Shell Ga. By the way, this is the reason why Hope is, in my opinion, the worst Saboteur in the game, because he gets access to every debuff in the game, as far as I'm aware. I don't think... No, he does. I'm pretty sure he even gets access to Slow Ga. The problem is it's the area of effect version of the spell, which has less accuracy than the single target version. So unless you're using this on a wide group of enemies, it's usually not worth it, and usually Saboteurs are better off fighting single target enemies anyway, rather than trying to get lower accuracy stuff to stick, you know? So, alright, let's just get this out of the way before we go by Thundaga. Just get these strength nodes and be done with them, because they're only 6 and 6, right? Yeah, okay. So we're only a little bit away from Thundaga. 6, 12, 18, 26, 34,000, and then we've got Thundaga. Shouldn't be too long. Saz, did we get your 8TB level yet? Not yet, but I think you're close. Yep. There we go. And now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna have you use, big guy. Am I gonna do this? I think it might be worth it to do Commando for Saz. His Ravager's fine, but I'm not really a big fan of having him cast anyway, and I think he's got all of his physical strike moves at the moment already. So, Life Siphon's good. A lot of Saz's skills here are pretty solid, so I think... I'm gonna go get Adrenaline first, even though it costs more to get. But I'm gonna go get Adrenaline first because that's 20% extra strength and magic when his HP's high, and it stacks with any other buffs that you give him. So like if you give him Bravery, that's 20%, 40%. And I don't remember if they stack additively or not, but it's pretty good. The buffs are pretty good. And Snow, you didn't get your ATB level yet. You're not even gonna get it yet. You're not there yet. All right, go down this way. Can we get the next one? Yeah, we can. Okay, so you're almost there. You've got one more, and it's the ATB level itself, and then you can have 5. And then everybody will have 5 except for Vanille for now. And she's just working on Ravager. Sorry, I have to remind myself of that sometimes because I don't think about it, and then it's like, oh, what was I working on here? Okay, she's got Fyraga, so actually Vanille has beaten out Hope. She's our first character with a tier 3 spell. Well, Ruinga's technically a tier 3 spell, but an elemental tier 3 spell, so there you go. Okay, but in any case, that takes care of that. Let's get out of the Yaschas Massif today. Massif, whatever. Once we're out of here, I won't have to worry about how it's pronounced anymore. But yeah, let's get out of the Massif first, and then... Actually, if I pronounce it Massive, I can make a Mass Effect reference, so maybe I'll just pronounce it that way. Once we're out of here, we can go... Oops, that's not Blizzard anymore. There we go. This is why Fyra and Blazara are kind of nice to get for Lightning, because then it sticks all of her... It's kind of like Pain and Painga with Fang. It sticks all the single target spells on the left side of the gauge, so then you can just grab them from there.
Just getting started.
Like, you can just go down the left side. You don't even have to worry about the right side unless you're in an AoE situation. Yeah, we might get to... Wait, which way is out? That way is out, okay. And again, we could just teleport out of here, but... Well, actually we can't because we don't have a teleporter outside of this area yet, so... Nope, I guess you gotta walk. Sorry. But even if I had a teleporter, I wouldn't want to use the teleporter at the moment because... Again, we've still got the pedometer going in the background, so don't think it's worthwhile. Well, that guy's going to the moon. Good lord. Okay, but yeah, so you suck walking. That's a really quick save point between this one and the other one. It's only like 1 or maybe 2 fights in between. Wow. But probably we'll get back to the beginning of the Valis Media because that's where the Mission 8 is, the marker for it. Because it was actually, there's a Cie'th Stone that was inactive earlier when we entered into this place. And it's active now that we've beaten, I think, either Mission 5 or Mission 7, I forget. But it's active now, so we can actually go and use it. And once we've used it, we're going to have to walk back into the Valis Media. Like, we're going to walk all the way out of here to, like, there. That's the mission marker right there, and it's another... I believe it's another Waystone mission. And then it's back in here, so we got to walk all the way back to, like, there in order to fight it. And then we can walk all the way back out onto the step itself, so... I guess we won't get back to the step today, but it'll be a very quick jaunt next time to get to the step. And then we can start exploring. Trying to find all the other missions that are just hanging around waiting for me. Okay, that I think was the Blazara staggering them, so... Oh, okay. Nice work, Fang. Yeah, nothing should really challenge here in the media now that we've... Well, maybe the actual mission mark will challenge, but the actual monsters shouldn't really pose much of a threat anymore. Especially with 5 ATB bars, like, good lord, man. Look at the damage we're doing just from a single hit. You know, that wasn't the smartest plan you guys have ever gone with. Because your friend that you tried to merge with inherited your stagger bar. Why would you do that? What kind of a friend are you? Not a very good one, evidently. Like, come on now. Don't give your friend your stagger bar. That's not very nice. Oh, okay, I guess I don't get a preemptive strike. Actually, probably this isn't such a good idea with Flan being there, but... it might work out okay. Yeah, it might work out okay. Hey. No problem. I wouldn't sell the components that we're getting, by the way, just yet. Eventually we won't need them anymore once we get all of our upgrades done, so probably by the end of Chapter 11 I might sell whatever's left over, but at this particular juncture we need to have them just on hand in case there's something that I want to get to like level 2 star. Like if it's a tetratic crown or something, or tetratic tiara, or something of the same line where it doesn't take much experience to get to the maximum level. So it's good to just have some stuff on hand, just in case, because you never know. Just stay up there. You don't need to come back down to Earth. This is the most you'll ever fly in your life, big guy. Because your life is over. God damn, that got morbid at the end. What the hell? Okay. Anyway, was there a treasure there? No. Would have sucked if I had missed it all this time, but wasn't anything in particular that I need, so. I know what I need in order to have enough money for capitalism to triumph again, so. You did it, Lightning! Capitalism triumphs again! Okay, I'm taking a few effective liberties with that phrase, but, you know. I really should have brought Elise to the final battle of Tales of Xillia 2. Like, I should have stuck it out and tried to have Leia be the primary healer in Xillia 1, even if she was subpar compared to her Xillia 2 counterpart, because then I could have brought Elise into the final battle, and then that reference would actually make sense, because as it stands now, I have no video evidence on my channel of that reference that I just made. And that's unfortunate, but I'm probably still going to make the reference anyway. I mentioned what it was, though, on the actual Tales of Xillia 2 stream, so I guess it's there if you're wondering what the hell I'm on about. Ow. I have been slapped by gelatin today. I'll never live this down. Oh, wait. Actually, I probably shouldn't have waited there because now he'll fall to the ground, but that's okay. Because Lightning gets back her ATB gauge faster than everybody else, so she'll kind of help keep them busy while Fang is charging up to launch. It just makes so much more sense to me that Fang is the one to launch the enemies up in the air that high, because like she's the high wind of this game, right? Like she's the Dragoon, so of course she's able to jump that high. Like everybody else, it's like, okay, fine, cool, you know, you can get that high, but I don't know if Snow would have those kind of hops. Like he has too much body weight to throw around, you know what I mean? It just seems unlikely. Maybe I should have stuck in Relentless Assault. Oh well, we can go to that for the plan. There we go. Before I do the backflip. Alright, so we'll get back to base camp, and then I think we'll call it a day. And by base camp, I mean like where they started Chapter 11 at, which shouldn't be too much farther down the road. Yeah, no, a couple more fights and then we should be good. We started a little late, we'll end a little late today. And then we'll move right along. We will not be off of Pulse by the end of next week, unfortunately. Chapter 11 is long, but we'll get there. I'm gonna wait, actually, until they're almost done with their bar, so I can keep this guy kind of stuck a little bit so he doesn't just decide, oh, I'm just gonna merge. Because he'll never make it. Oh, it's so good to have 5 ATB bars. It's just such a nice boon to have early in Chapter 11. Makes battles go quite a bit faster, and it doesn't affect your target time, unlike unlocking a whole bunch of strength and magic nodes, so I find it a little bit nicer of a bonus. There will still be situations where I'll want to use Vanille, though, even though she doesn't have 5. Like, certain boss fights and marks that we'll be fighting, Vanille will just be a better fit than this party. Like, especially in situations where they're, like, bosses, you know? Because, like, if it's just a single boss, her ability to debuff is so nice.
Wide open.
So.
Just like I planned.
And we're still not quite strong enough to where we're worried about not being able to kill everything, so, and get 5 stars. Like, at a certain point, we will still probably be able to get 5 stars from those Alrones, but they're so weak that if you get strong enough, you might not have an easy time getting a 5-star ranking from fighting them. So, anyway, here's the Cie'th Stone that was dormant when we came in. No longer dormant. Instead, we have to do Mission 8 from it, the 11th hour, fighting a Rakshasa, and I believe some Flans as well. A Rakshasa lurks along the route to the Yaschas Massif, and I'm supposed to hunt it down? I think I'll pass. If it's Crystal or Cie'th, my life is over anyway. I might as well make the most of it. From here on out, I live for me! How did that work out for you? Because it doesn't look so good. Gonna check the Final Fantasy V speedrun, then pass out, have fun. Sounds like a plan, Marie, because we are also going to... Well, I'm not going to pass out yet. I'm not going to bed for a little bit. But we're also going to call it a day. But will we be able to live for ourselves and defeat the Rakshasa? And are we ever going to make it across the Archaeot Steppe on this playthrough? Find out on the next episode of Final Fantasy XIII, the Stream Edition, which will be happening most likely on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're coming up pretty close to the next semester of school, so I may have to swap around the schedule again, depending on how things go. We'll see. But I'll let all of you know if there is a schedule switch by the time we get there. It's not next week, it's the week after. So, either way, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. Excuse me, I'll post the schedule for next week up on Twitch, YouTube, and Discord shortly after the description for this video is published. But either way, I will see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be most likely on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one. You think if we stay in base camp like this, Hope's PTSD will come back and he'll get Super Alexander for an Eidolon? Because, I mean, I'm not one for causing unrequited trauma, but Super Alexander sounds pretty badass.